What up, Jopins? We got fucking legends in the house. We got Papa O'Malley, and we got fucking Tony. Kill Tony. Tony Montana.
Tony Baloney.
Yeah. These are, so, if you don't know, Jopins, Papa O'Malley's Sean's dad. Easy. Tony is Papa O'Malley's best friend. How long you guys been best friends?
Wow.
You're really pushing that best friend.
Yeah,
I
I was
know.
going to say, let's just start out with friends.
That's what let's go with that, yeah.
Not like me and Brendan, 23 years deep.
Nah, we're
Dude, these Gen X guys, man, they don't have feelings like us. I'm telling you.
Damn,
We
Brendan's,
don't share it, no.
we're like 15 years, maybe.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you guys crush more puss than us youngsters. What's the tips?
It's right at the tip.
Yeah. It's just a
what it
tip.
Tony, don't you hold back now on me, dog. Don't you hold back on me now, dog. What would you say? Give Schmitty some tips right now. Schmitty's just had some bad luck with the ladies lately. Brendan's just, about almost married.
Mm-hmm. Love you, babe.
My man's walking around cheeless every day.
Buddy, I'm trying to hook you with one right now.
This is true, dude. Tony's a G.
Yes.
Confidence, buddy.
Yep.
Know they want it. Give it to them.
Okay. Let's talk a little into the top of the mic.
Oh, sorry.
There. Oh my God. Now you're even more
yeah,
beautiful.
sorry.
You know what's funny is earlier you were like, talking to Dan, you're like, oh, what about, your grandkids could see this and we need to know your
Right.
craziest sex stories.
Right. Yeah, that switched in a damn hurry. I'm like,
I did. I wanted. Yeah, you're right. I wanted to get the juice out.
We need the juice.
I know these guys. They spit the knowledge and facts when we're all sitting at the table.
Oh, we'll give you juice. I'm
Yeah.
good with juice.
Sure. Yeah.
Tony's telling me he's waking up next to a girl with a green mohawk when he's young. I'm
Orange
like,
mohawk.
Orange
Yeah.
mohawk.
Orange. Name Jesse.
And then you're also telling me to say, hey, are we doing this or not?
Buddy, when you got the girls playing you in the gym, you look them straight in the eye and just say, hey, are we doing this or not? The first thing they think about is sex, and then they get tongue-tied and they have nothing to say, so you're just like, hey, all right, game on.
That's not been my experience, however. I'm a little more bashful and shy.
Oh, just put it out there. Lay it out and let them play it out.
Tony's a smooth talker. Tony can talk to anybody. But
He really is.
his specialty is trying to hook dudes up with girls. He'll go up to any girl out there.
He makes
try
me
to-
blush when I'm
Yeah,
walking around with him in
100%.
the store. I'm going, Tony, stop it.
He is the #1 instigator I've ever met in my entire life. He starts more shit and walks away from it, like me wearing a dildo in a bar on my birthday that he planned.
We got video.
Yeah, well, there's video of me running around with a dildo.
Like a
Why
strap
were you-
on?
Yeah, strap on. Because
Total.
it was my birthday.
Yeah.
I would
So
have
that's
never
why
done-
you wanted to run around with a dildo in your hand for your birthday?
No, he made me. He
made you.
He got me drunk, and then they started throwing out 20s.
Uh-huh.
So there's a video of me running around with a black dildo going. Boing.
Jamie, can we pull that video up for us right now?
Right.
no,
I
Tony,
got
I was trying. No.
So yeah, he instigates stuff all the time with not only me, with everybody. And then he backs away from it, acts like it's somebody else's dealings, but it's really Tony.
Is that how you get away with it, Tony? You blame it on someone else when you start shit?
All the time.
I don't have to blame it. Usually other people do it. You just got to be smooth at it. It's
So-
pretty easy.
Okay, so Tony, you and Papa O'Malley are walking into a bar. You see a couple cuties. What do you do? What do you say? What are you walking up and doing?
I don't have to do anything. It's just like, you know they want it.
Really?
That's it.
That's
Confidence.
it.
Just carry yourself like life is good. Be
Uh-huh.
cool to them. That's it. Don't insult them. Just have some fun.
Okay.
Have you guys tried this one? You get the wallet out and you say, this is the only 3 inches that matter, honey. You throw out your credit card.
No, I haven't tried that one yet.
Think it'll work?
0%. I have had 0 success with that one.
Zero success. Okay. Thanks for trying it out for us.
How the hell do you do it, Tony? You're so aggressive. He's talking about like how you got the smooth riz here, and you're just like, what are we about? What are we doing? And it works. How?
Have you been around Tony? Tony cannot stop for 5 minutes. He's going bum, 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 bum. So, yeah, he's got to go in, got to get quick because he's going to fix somebody's plumbing right after. Well,
I've never seen
let's
so
talk
many.
about the plumbing. So he's fixing somebody's plumbing. He's got to go do somebody's electrical. That was a segue I didn't even mean for. Bam.
No, we know what you're doing, Papa O'Malley. I know what you're fucking
Yeah,
doing.
I know, you're fixing it.
Yeah. Tony gets more phone calls than Sean.
Oh, 100%.
This man's phone never stops.
And he doesn't know how to turn the volume down.
Tony,
I'm getting old. I got to hear it, you know?
Tony, I want to say thank you. Jobins, Tony has fucking saved our lives here. He's fixed our sprinklers. We've had a horrible sprinkler system. He's taught us a whole bunch of shit. Even this morning before we do the pod, he's going, Schmitty, you got a leak. And we need, we knew about it, but I thought that was like, okay, maybe that's just one that's just on. But apparently it was a leaker.
Tony's a legend. For real. You're like the Batman to Dan's Robin.
You know, fuck.
You know what you are? You're the Minnie Mouse to Schmitty. That's what
Brendan
you are.
Schmitty Show, baby. That's why I've had a hard time changing the name, Jobins. Everyone wants me to change the name, but it's like, it's the Brendan Schmitty Show. You know what I mean? I don't know what to do.
The Batman. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Tony.
Brendan's worse than me. I'm quiet. You know what I mean? No. But Jobins, we literally right here, the knowledge that both of these guys have right here, it's like, damn. When I watch and listen how they fix stuff, I'm going, we're doomed. We're so fucked. Because we ain't this generation, the generation, we're relying on AI now.
I think not only that, this generation, but Tony grew up fixing stuff when he was like 3.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to fix stuff to survive. He had to work on stuff to survive. And same with me. We didn't have a very good upbringing, so we had to do things to survive. And yeah, Tony, I don't think there's anything Tony can't fix.
You grow up poor, you got to learn how to fix stuff.
Right?
Yeah, or do without.
Tony, you had that really good saying too on like the outlooks of things. Like there's 2 ways to look at something when something needs to get fixed. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Blanking a little?
Maybe.
Well, you spit some really good knowledge at me because whenever you have an issue like a sprinkler system, there's 2 types of people. People that go, oh, easy. We just got to do this. Or the people that go, oh, God, this is going to be a nightmare. You know what I mean? And you're just your mentality about everything is like that.
Some man put it together, so some man can fix it.
Right?
Easy.
God, what about cars these days, man? When like cars just aren't like the way they used to be. It's like, I don't know. And then what I'm hearing about electricians and plumbers, it's like, and the reason their prices are going up, it's like that knowledge is becoming super valuable because of the way things are going. I don't know.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think robots are going to take that over? Because I saw a freaking robot, guys, in Barcelona, Spain, with 4 legs, and it scared the shit out of me. It jumped at me, too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, what if... I mean, it's probably...
It's
you can't
already.
replace a human, though, like that, right?
I was just at a Korean barbecue place, and the robot came out and brought us our food, took our order, did the whole deal.
And it was a whole robot.
They had 2 of them there. And
Really?
that's what they did. It was pretty freaking awesome.
Well, don't let Tim hear that because there goes my job. God. Fuck.
The funny part is Tony tried taking one of the robots home.
Oh, yeah. They're saying
I can
within...
work on your wire.
All I had to do was charge her up.
They're just meant for serving the tables, Tony.
Dude,
Are,
she's got a quick charge. It's good.
I know. That's what I was about to say. Like, are they going to have a quick charge adapter for these robots? Because I know people are going to want it.
I was looking for the plug-in.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're saying 5 years, sex robots are going to be a big thing.
Oh my
yeah.
God, that ElonMusk thing. Did you watch that podcast?
Which one? Who was he with?
Oh dear God.
Was it Joe? You don't have
Yeah,
to-
Joe Rogan.
Was it Joe?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they were talking about. They were talking about it within 5 years. And it's like when you got Elon Musk saying that kind of shit,
It's gonna,
and I'm looking at everyone with our phones and I'm going, oh my God.
it'll be a different world in 5 years for sure. I took an AI class
Uh-huh.
in Las Vegas here a month ago.
Just for the shits and giggles?
No, for my work.
Really?
Yeah, just trying to learn and understand AI. But the interesting part was the instructor was the best world-renowned AI instructor in the world. The dude from the Middle East, been to every country possible. But the one thing that he said to me was that there was a girl, I think in the UK somewhere, a young girl, 6, 7 years old, super sick.
Mm-hmm.
All the doctors couldn't figure it out. She's been to doctors her whole life. They said, let me take a look at it. So they put all of her medical records, everything she's ever done. They spit out the girl's got 2 different forms of leukemia. They went to that doctor that it's her primary doctor and said, absolutely impossible. You cannot have 2 forms of leukemia. They said, test her for 2 forms of leukemia. They did, and they fixed her.
Damn.
Yeah, insane. That's just a small token of what he was talking about. But
Oh, I know. And well, on the Joe Rogan pod, they were saying that the AI will be able to just take everyone and figure out their own vaccine for the cancer or whatever
Right.
they have.
yeah, weird world.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting too. When I could go, I
Did
shouldn't
the
go
class
down that
make
way.
you more
actually, I'll stop.
confident?
Yeah,
Huh?
definitely.
I wanted to ask if the class made him more confident or not with AI, just because.
It did. It did. It gave you more confidence in it, but still, it's scary.
Be careful too with phone calls, guys, because the bank, I had a meeting yesterday and they were actually talking about like the fraud that's going on, and like they can actually AI like loved ones' voices, because they've already done it with like Tom Brady and other things that are crazy where
Right.
people have still been duped,
Yep.
but they're actually even able to do it like with
People.
family members and
People's
stuff.
daughters. I remember a
Yeah,
story a while
yeah.
ago with that.
Wow.
I mean, that's interesting. It's cool that the police department's on it. They're teaching all the people about AI.
100%.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is 20 years ago, there would be 4 dudes sitting here talking about the advancement of a computer and the internet. So, I mean, we're no different than they were 20 years ago. We're talking AI. They were talking, gosh, you can get on this internet and type in anything you want. So
Right.
it's cool that it's advancing.
It is really cool. It's a very exciting future with everything, but it's also a little concerning. But damn, what's been going on with your world, Papa O'Malley, in the detective world?
We're not going to go down the personal world because the instigator's already giggling because he's going to bring up some shit. I guarantee
What?
you.
That's
What?
more
That's what
exciting.
we're
No.
here about. That's
Yeah,
what
we
they
don't want to
wanna
hear about the
hear.
past or anything.
Yeah.
What's going on now?
What's going on now? Let's the Jobins help you get through it.
Oh, no.
That's what they always do for me.
Just minor midlife crisis.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I don't know if it's midlife anymore there, Tony. I think that one might be gone.
Okay, 3/4 life.
Yeah, then,
What? How old are you at midlife?
about
40?
Schmitty's age right now, baby. That's where I'm
That's
at.
my second midlife.
There we
Yeah.
Second
It's my
childhood.
post life.
the gray. I don't know.
Just relationships are tough. We're just going to go there.
They really are.
relationships
They
are
really
tough.
are.
I think what it is I don't, maybe Tony more than I have a tough time listening to women's emotions day after day. I'm so bummed out. I can't do that all day. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard, dude.
Yeah.
I cannot listen. You know, if it's an important subject that we're talking about, but
Mm-hmm.
I would much rather get up and go for a walk.
You
There's
can
a
get
way-
therapy.
There's a way to
Yeah.
curve that.
Therapy on a phone.
What's
They
the way
can
to-
just do apps
Oh
now.
yeah, no.
What's
I
the
don't-
way
I'm
to
not-
curve that, Tony?
Just look at him and say, "What'd you say?"
What'd you say?
I gotta go.
Or Charlie Sheen it from 2.5 Men. I understand. You guys ever watch that show?
Yeah.
God, I miss those days. But
I think
yeah.
the difference with me is being a cop for so long. I don't trust anybody, so I can't go talk to a counselor. There's no way in hell I'm going to go talk to a counselor and say, "Hey, I'm going to my post midlife crisis" or whatever. But yeah, I think you get a lot of PTSD, and you got a lot of. I remember I went to a counselor a long time ago with my ex. She convinced me to go alone one time. We went as a couple, blah, and then I went by myself. I walked in there, and the dude for 45 minutes was crying to me because I do a lot of stuff with addiction. He relapsed the weekend before that. My counselor, he's a gambler and an alcoholic. He ended up hugging me at 45 minutes saying, "Hey, man, I appreciate it. This was a good session." I'm like, wow, that's why I don't go out with the counselors, because I had to help the guy get through his shit.
Yeah.
Didn't help me out.
Yeah.
Did you send him a bill for $120?
But I can't sit and talk to anybody about issues going on.
AI.
Yeah.
There's AI for you. ChatGPT.
Right.
No, for real. That's the thing, Papa O'Malley,
I
is
know.
exactly people like you and me. Because, dude, trust is a big thing, and I get that. But I'm still able to trust. You know the problem with me, Papa O'Malley, is I think everyone's my friend. So like I
100%.
wear my heart on my sleeve. So I tell people because I think they're my friend,
Right.
and it's not the case.
Right. And if you disappoint them, it really wears heavy on
Yeah,
you.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
No, I
Me and
get
you are one of the same, Papa O'Malley, but you. I can't. It's amplified. Yeah, no. We are. He'll get drunk. We have deep. Nope. Where's the beers? Let's
For
get the
someone
beers.
just
Bring
listening,
the beers.
Dan's eyes were
Yep.
so wide right
Yep.
there.
There's a few differences.
Some
between
people
me and you.
just hate to admit. Some people just hate to admit how relatable they are to Schmidt, and that's just how it is. So
Schmidt, you got a big heart. That's what it is. You
I
got a big
appreciate
heart.
you, G.
Never change it.
I appreciate you, gentlemen.
No, never change it.
Yeah, not being able to trust people. Is that because of the insane? Like you're seeing people at their worst all
Right.
the time.
I don't know if it's that. I don't think that relates to trust.
Do people come out to get you
Yeah, it's happened quite a bit. A couple different times.
because of like your interactions with like people you've had to deal with?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and not so much. I have so much respect for a lot of people that I put in prison, and so for the majority of it, it's positive stuff. But there's those ones that I put in prison 15 years ago that are coming out now.
Oh no.
Probably aren't in love with Dan O'Malley.
Uh huh.
It is what it is. But most of them I have a ton of respect. They have a ton of respect for me because I did them a solid going in. You know?
Right.
They knew they were bad guys. I caught them. They knew it. Cat and mouse game. So
We used to sit in the pawn shop, and I guarantee you, he knew 95% of the people that came in that front door
yeah.
by first name.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of things falling off the back of a truck
Well,
that they're taking to the pawn shop.
Oh man,
You know, 95% of them.
it's
we
all
got some
hot.
stories.
It's all hot.
Give me one, Tony.
Oh boy.
Give me one.
When the lady brought in a portable stripper pole and said she strips with her clothes on.
A portable stripper pole.
Yes.
I've
yes, that
never
has
even
happened.
heard of such a thing. A portable stripper pole.
Yes.
So what do? It just goes tink 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 tink, and you're ready
Yeah.
to go.
It's got wheels on it. It has a big platform.
Uh huh.
And we told the lady we won't pawn it unless we see her actually interacting. That it'll actually work.
That's that shit right there, Joe. That's the shit right there.
Who had to clean the damn pole? That's what I want.
John did it.
I bet he did.
He's like, oh, I'll never wash my hands.
John, don't lick the pole.
Yeah.
Too late.
Too late.
He's a window licker.
God, I can only imagine the kind of shit. Because yeah, Tony even accidentally got shot. Did you by?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love
By your
this
brother?
story.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
Okay, wait. That was the phone call I got from Tony.
Uh-huh.
I'm on the way to the ER. My brother just shot me, and I'm like, holy shit.
Uh-huh.
I go head into the hospital. He's laying in there smiling, and I'm like, what the hell? Nurses come in, and then the nurse yells, oh, we got a gunshot. It's called a gunshot victim. So then everybody comes running in there. He didn't get shot by the fucking bullet. The bullet hit the ground, and a little tiny piece of concrete went into his leg.
Oh,
And I'm like, you motherfucker, I came here to save your life.
that
I'm
ain't
out.
never been told to me like
No,
that,
oh,
Papa.
I'm
I'm
out.
straight up thinking my boy got
Me
ricocheted.
too. I'm out. I left.
It was
Yeah.
shit, yeah. Look what I did for my brother for
Oh,
Christmas. This is for my brother.
Yeah, he took the gun that he shot him with.
Yeah.
Put the evidence tags and put it in the shadow box. Give it to him for
What would
Christmas.
you be okay if? What happens if I shot you on accident, Brendan? What's your reaction?
I'd probably, I'd like to say I wouldn't cry. I'd probably cry, guys.
Yeah.
I hope these two aren't there to call me a pussy afterwards.
Well, there's a difference between getting shot and a little piece of concrete going in your leg. It was
I know he's
ridiculous.
scared.
I was embarrassed.
You're so full of it.
I was embarrassed. I told the nurse I'm out. I fucking broke the speed limit to get there because your boy's down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's shot in the leg.
I don't even think it bled. It didn't bleed.
You're so-
I don't even think it bled.
Tony showed me this video, Papa O'Malley, where he got ricocheted and he limping.
Well, yeah, because it's a shock.
It
But
went off.
Yeah,
Most of it went through, all the way through my leg.
all the way through. Did it go? So hold on, it went in through one leg and out the other side of the same leg. That happened.
Yes.
That's not a piece of concrete, Papa
I
O'Malley.
got pictures of
it was
it.
like a bee sting.
Brother, through the whole leg.
Right through it. I looked at my brother. I was like, you just effing shot me.
Yeah, dude. What happened, Tony? Exactly what exactly happened?
A lady brought in a gun to pawn, and we're supposed to check the chambers, and he pulled it back, but he didn't check it.
Oh no.
Boom! Right to the ground. Boom! Right into my leg. Suck!
All right, this is Tony's story.
Yeah.
That's-
Let's listen to it.
You never think about ricochets,
Right.
right? I'm always to be in the wrong place at the wrong time for a fucking ricochet.
Oh, you don't understand the sound that had to happen in there. When that gun went off in that building, the sound was probably more fearful than the tiny piece of concrete.
I fear something about guns, man. I fear guns. They scare me because of that shit right there. He got hit in an artery. That's a different story.
No artery.
Yeah.
It bled. It bled. My,
Yeah, it bled.
Yeah.
yeah, like a pimple or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay. That's not sounding so bad then.
No, it wasn't bad.
He had to get a gram of blood transfusion when we got to the hospital. Like that much.
Damn.
She just spit it in his mouth. Here you go. We're gonna replace the blood that you lost on the way here.
That ain't what you said.
What you got for me,
So
bro?
anyway.
You had some good shit.
Yeah. So cause I knew you guys were coming older. Over. I almost Freudian slip.
Oh, man.
But I had to ask ChatGPT, like, what can we ask some Gen Xers like yourself? And then it gave me some quotes too. Do you agree with this? We're the last generation that learned how to fix things instead of replacing them.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
Don't tell the Jobins what this is, but anyone in the comments, please let me know what a CLR is.
Yeah, if you don't
What
know
CLR is.
how to commonly fix something with CLR.
Don't let them know, guys.
Don't
We'll just
tell-
see who the demographics watching is.
I get nervous, man. The way Tony could just look at something and go, "Oh, it's got to be this," and it's just some CLR. And I'm like,
Dan taught me everything I know.
I did.
He did. Yeah. I asked him
And I'm
to
still
check
teaching
things.
him.
Yeah.
I'm still teaching him.
I'm
every
proud of
day.
it too.
Yeah.
I'm proud.
Today we'll probably go fix a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Tony's been helping Sean with fucking everything lately.
It's insane.
Well, he just built it all. He built a room for all his little scientific researched body tools.
I think I helped him with that. And
Sean's a straight scientist now.
I designed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn. Hey, Tony, do you think that a lot of your riz comes from your handiness?
I think it's
Is
from
that what it is?
I think it comes from my friends.
I think the nice thing about Tony is he is not afraid to try to fix it. And if it doesn't work, that's whatever. We'll just go try something. Most people are like, I'm going to work on that. And if it doesn't work, they're like, fuck it. And now I got to hire somebody to do it. Not Tony. Tony will work on something. If he doesn't get it right, he'll redo it again and learn how to do it. Rather than taking on the task, fucks it up. Most people are like, okay, I need to get an expert in here. Tony just does it himself. Because I taught him. I trained him
Because you.
Yep.
very well.
Yeah. He did.
Back to the pawn shop. Let's talk about pawn shop real quick.
Want some more
We'll
fun
talk
stuff?
about Shelby.
Oh, Shelby. What a good
Shel-
person.
Shelby's
Yeah.
a good dude.
Yeah.
Shelby I arrested, I can't even tell you how many times.
Uh-huh.
But
Just for petty shit all the time?
weed, mainly weed. He was back in the day, he was on probation for weed. And
You ass.
I didn't want to, but his PO was like, hey, you got to hook it up. And he wouldn't lie to me for nothing. Shelby, you got any dope on you? Weed on you? Yeah, it's in my truck.
Is Montana still illegal in Montana right now?
No, this was years ago.
Okay.
He ends up being a really cool dude. There's a really cool story with Shelby, if I could tell it real quick.
I would love it.
I was in in Butte, 60 miles away from Helena. Got a phone call from Shelby. He's like, hey, do you know of a cop that got shot in Oroville, California? And I'm like, no, dude, I don't know anything about it. He's like, well, can you find out? This girl tells me that there's a guy in Helena from California that shot a cop. So I called our dispatch center. I'm like, I know this is a long shot. Call Oroville, California, see if there's been a cop shot. They do. They call me right back. I get a call from, Dad, this is Detective Angel from Oroville, California. I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, I just got a call from our dispatch center that you may have information on that. I'm like, dude, it's a snitch. I'm at my son's basketball tournament. I don't know much about it. Well, you need to figure out some stuff. You need to go figure out who that guy is. Send a snitch in there. Long story short. We ended up finding out who it is. We hit the place with a SWAT team, throw the guy back in prison. It was a canine officer was out on a walk in a park and just walking with his dog. Somebody hit him with a lead pipe from behind. They fought for the gun. Cop's gun came out of his holster, blew a hole in his leg.
Oh.
They had no idea who it was. They hadn't a clue. It happened that fast. The dude just bounced. So we were able to find out who it is, get him arrested. He's in prison for life now. But that was because of him. You know, Shelby did such a good job. He got a $10,000 reward or something for it, but he didn't do it for that. He does it just because he's a super solid dude.
He's got a big heart too.
Yeah.
Just like Schmitty.
Yeah. The thing is with Shelby, I'd be sitting in the pawn shop knowing that I'm a popo. That fucker would bring in 10 brand new boxes of Milwaukee drills. And I'm like, dude, he didn't care.
No fear.
No, brand new, right out of the box.
Yeah.
A 5-minute drive from Home Depot to there.
That's legendary.
And Tony's like, I'm calling.
He's looking at you going, what?
Yeah. He had invented some things, you know, those little detectors that they have on electronics and stuff that you got to go, they'll ding if you don't take them off at the cash register.
The alarms.
Oh.
He invented something that just came up and clipped that thing off. He'd walk out with 60-inch TVs. The dude was a master at it. He's sober today, amazing, married,
Yep.
changed his life,
Wow.
and probably one of good friends of mine for sure. But
Damn.
They actually rent a house for me now.
Yep.
After their addiction.
That's really, yeah,
That's how I met
damn.
them.
That's really cool to hear.
Yeah. Good people. They used to come in. He would have a box of Oreos, skinny as a rail. His wife now, she'd be skinny as a rail. You know they're not eating. We used to keep an extra pizza. They'd come in every day. We'd keep pizza for him, salad for him, just knowing that they needed to eat.
they lived in a storage unit.
Yep.
for a long time.
Phenomenal people.
But
They
they
are
were-
the statistic.
If we called Shelby right now and said we have a flat tire in Phoenix, he'd be going, all right, take me a while, but I'll get down there.
Yeah.
Damn.
And
After Razzing
Tony's done a ton for Shelby and Jessica.
Dude, as much
Phenomenal.
as you talk about like not trusting people and things like that, it sounds like you've definitely created some relationships with people that have your back no matter what. It almost sounds
Oh,
like.
there's no. I went to an MMA fight in Missoula, which is 2 hours from Helena. Guy that I put in prison twice. He owns the 3 fastest knockouts in the state of Montana.
Oh,
That's
He's
cool.
huge. He called me and he's like, "Hey, you want to go to the MMA fights?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So me and a guy that I put in prison a couple different times go to the MMA fights, and everybody thinks he's my bodyguard
Mm-hmm.
because in small Montana, everybody knows Sean,
Yeah.
and then they see
And
me.
you.
Yeah, and they see me walking around with this big fucking monster. He's all tatted up, bald head.
Uh-huh.
Everybody thinks he's my bodyguard. It's pretty funny, but
That's cool.
yeah, I do stuff like that. Funny story, me, Tony, and a guy, I won't even say his name, but
oh, this
Just-
one must be bad.
no, he's a cool dude. I just don't want to use his name, but I arrested him for distribution of drugs 20 years ago or whatever.
Mhm.
I'm in the pawn shop 15 years later, and in he comes, and him and I lock eyes, and then a little bit later, I leave, and Tony's like, "You know who that was?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's fucking Dan O'Malley. He put me in prison." So then a couple more times, I'm like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" The sad part about his story is I'm doing a DARE thing in 5th grade class,
Mm-hmm.
and it was right after I arrested him. At the end of it, I said to the kids, "You guys got any other questions?" And this poor little kid raises his hand. I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And he said, "Most guys want to look at your guns and all your stuff on your." He's like, "Why'd you put my dad in prison?"
Oh,
Oh, dude.
no.
Anyway, we become.
How'd you answer
good friends.
that?
Well, I just did some bad things. Your dad just made some bad choices. But
Phenomenal
That's
guy.
a good way to keep
He
it
does
real.
all my electrician work.
But here's
Phenomenal.
here's the funny part. We flew to Costa Rica.
Uh-huh.
Me and Tony and this guy. We drove from Helena to Seattle or Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
In my car, which is white and dark tinted windows, looks like a dope rig rolling down the highway. We're on our way back, dipshit speeding, which why wouldn't you be speeding?
I just got a ticket there again.
Yeah. This guy's in the back seat. Now remember, I busted him for distribution of dangerous drugs.
Uh-huh.
He gets pulled over. The deputy comes up, or state patrol comes up to my window with a brand new guy. And it's like the guy's one of his first traffic stops.
Uh-huh.
They roll down the window and they're like, "Hey, the reason we pulled you over is because you've got a pretty dark tinted windows and you're speeding." I kind of giggled a little bit. And the veteran cop says, "We got a lot of drugs running up and down here." Dude in the back seat's laughing.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Can I ask you what you're laughing about?" And he's like, "Dude, you ain't going to fucking believe me if I tell you." And he's like, "Try me. I hear a lot of weird shit on the highway." And he's like, "So the guy you're talking to right there arrested me for distributing drugs on this very same highway."
Ha!
And he's like, "What the fuck?" And we're like, "Yeah, it's a weird world." He's like, "That's pretty cool. Though you guys can be friends." So
Yeah.
yeah. So
Because a lot of police officers get a bad rap. I
Yeah.
know there is bad ones. There's bad people in every situation, every career. But
bad short people. There's bad short
bad
people.
bankers.
They exist, yep.
Bad bankers.
I got to tell you a story about Costa Rica. But since we're here, we
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
We land in Costa Rica. We're just having fun. 3 guys going to go have some fun.
Costa
And we
Rica.
go through immigration and customs. We're at immigration. They're asking Dan and Eric. Dan and my other friend does not.
He dropped the name. He dropped the. I heard Derek.
That's
I heard
right.
Derek.
He's handy, but he's dumb as fuck.
They don't speak any Spanish. And they're asking him questions. And he's pointing at his wedding ring and pointing at Dan. He's with Dan. He's with Dan. They thought them two were married. They were going through a romantic holiday.
Why did they think we were married?
Because because he was pointing at his wedding ring, pointing at you, going to
What
a
did you
Jaco.
say? What did you say all the way over the counter?
I was dying laughing.
No, you said in Spanish that we're married.
Oh,
Yeah, you forgot that part.
Well,
Yeah,
caballeros. I don't know how that works.
instigator right there. See?
I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
I know you guys got stories for days. I want to hear them all. Give me some. Give me a wild one, Tony. I know you got it, baby. Give me something crazy about Papa O'Malley. I don't know.
Ooh. Ooh.
One I haven't heard
Oh, boy.
because I've heard a lot.
But
Oh, my God.
go to the next chapter.
I'm exposing.
He doesn't have any.
Do you want to go with Abu Dhabi or where do you want to go with?
I'll take an Abu Dhabi story.
I'm pure as the driven snow, bro.
Oh, yeah. This guy, when you think pure, you're thinking virgin, right? Right.
Uh-huh. Complete opposite.
That guy couldn't get laid if he paid for it.
I think we got a 50% chance of rain this afternoon. Back to you, Bob.
Damn, so Tony is the Rizmeister in the group.
Tony.
I have no shame. I'm
Yeah.
good with it.
Yeah,
Tony has sold. How many businesses have you sold, Tony? How many have you? How many have you created?
I've sold probably around a half a dozen of them. Mm-hmm.
What? And so, what? How old were you when you first started your first business?
I started mowing lawns at 10 years old. Me and my brother made bicycle trailers, and we actually mowed the school lawn in Brookings, Oregon.
Damn!
And got paid for it by the school. At 10 years old, my brother was 13.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? And you just did that till when?
God, until, I don't know, decided I didn't want to be a loser anymore.
Well, that didn't work.
Well, you know, I fight for a chance.
Because you owned your own. The really cool one was the party, like the bar party. What exactly was that? The concert event one?
Yeah, I'd go sell cowboy hats at country music concerts and vendors and stuff, and I used to import cowboy hats from China and Mexico, just being dumb
I love
and
how
having
you
a
just-
great time.
Yeah, he's just nonchalant about it, but it's like, damn.
I wish everybody could have a life like mine. Mine has been just so much fun.
Tony is so smooth. He's like
like butter.
smoother than butter. Damn. Smoother than that nasty ass coffee you made me this morning.
I know I didn't have my right sweetener. I was trying a new one.
You
Disappointed.
You just watch Tony, whether it's in the pawn shop. I'm going to compliment you, dude. I ain't going to fuck with you right now.
Huh.
In the pawn shop, he knew going into that pawn shop, he had to wrap himself around cop friends, attorney friends, plumbers, electricians, mechanics, and he was smart enough to borrow them money, knowing probably 50% of them were going to pay him back the total amount. But then he's got them on a reserve. So he's like, hey, bro, you still owe me $2,000. My daughter needs a place sheetrocked. Then they go in there and they sheetrock. That $2,000 meant nothing to Tony. Building that relationship and then having a handyman do a lot of stuff for him. It's insane how he wrapped himself around it. You watch him go into a Home Depot, he's going to strike a conversation up with somebody that is going to remember him next time he comes in there. So
Yep.
it's the personality that he has is actually phenomenal, how he can build relationships with people. I think I'm going to ask him to marry me on this pod. Are you good with that?
Well,
That's okay. Let it out.
I think
we
we
can.
I think we need to talk to Schmitty now about the girl at Home Depot that kind of wants a sweatshirt.
Ooh.
Oh God.
Oh, she wants to wear him like a glove.
Again, Tony makes me fucking blush when we're out in public, Joe. But I'm like, holy shit, Tony,
Man,
stop.
And one day, that girl was on him. And then we went to lunch, and the girl that helped us there, I was like, dude, calm down. It's Schmitty, man. And she's just like, I want him. I want him now.
That's coming out of Tony's mouth. I'm like Papa O'Malley. I'm shy, bashful, but then I'm not. Like if I don't know.
Those girls want you.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to lose weight, trying to get muscular. It's all about confidence, like you said.
Schmitty,
It's in your head. more
Just
than
be
anything.
Schmitty.
Yeah,
Well, right
exactly.
now, what I know, when I was on my thing, when I was on a good streak, it was confidence. It was feeling good. It was not really thinking and focusing on certain things. And then now I feel like I'm just like leaking fucking desperation or fucking like they know. It's like, oh, Schmitty's down. He needs it. It's like a different vibe. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you talk about leaking and
Like leaking,
women
like
at the same time because that's curable.
oh yeah, I know.
If you,
That's why I just
I wouldn't use that approach when I go see
Yeah.
a girl.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm leaking
Yeah.
for you.
But I'm on a pill.
Give me a blue chew.
It's fixable.
Yeah.
Would be a sick content. We gotta get Tony. We gotta get Dan and Schmitty on a double date
Oh,
with two chicks.
God,
Ooh,
that
that
would
would
be
be
some
fun.
Wouldn't that
content.
be fire?
Yeah, get Dan on silver singles
Oh.
or something.
What was that next? What was that MTV show where they get on the bus?
Oh,
Next? Was
Yeah,
it
yeah.
next? That's the kind of shit I wish we could recreate today on YouTube.
Did
for
you hear
some
what
shit.
fuckhead said?
It went right over my head. What did he say?
Silver singles.
Silver
Get me on
si-
there for fucking gray haired singles.
Silver singles? Is that a real thing?
I'll ask him.
I don't know. We should Google it.
It's better than your success on Grindr, I'm sure.
Schmitty, there's your business idea. Silver singles. Start it up.
Well, I had an app idea where it was like white guys looking for chocolate girls and chocolate girls looking for white guys. Because like
Hot chocolate.
just that, you know what I
Touch
mean?
of vanilla.
Yeah.
Creamer.
Oh.
It would be pretty cool. Yeah.
You can be the vanilla. I gotcha.
Right. right?
So, Brendan, what was your question a long time ago?
Oh, my question earlier was what
Oh,
was the
the CR.
freakiest thing you've done with it, or what's the freakiest sex story that you have?
Yeah, next. Tony.
What?
Tony.
Well, I did wake up with a girl with an orange mohawk once.
Yeah,
It's a good story.
and a wiener. But you don't want to skip that part.
No, I've had a wiener since birth.
She had an orange mohawk and a wiener.
No wiener.
No,
No. Her name was Jessie. Can't remember her last name. I'm
Jesse.
sorry.
they call him Jess.
Jess.
He's a construction worker by day, and he's Jesse by night.
I'll get a little juicy. What are your thoughts on marriage, Tony?
Oh. Well, I mean, if you're going to do it wholeheartedly. You have kids, don't bring up kids unless it's in a marriage where you're in a family union. If it doesn't work out, sorry, man. Don't do it again.
Why are you looking at me?
I have a quote, guys, from ChatGPT. It was just because I was asking,
Ooh.
what's some good quotes to get the Gen Xers going? And it was, marriage is like a deck of cards. At first, all you need is 2 hearts and a diamond. By the end, you're looking for a club and a spade.
Yeah. Yeah.
That one I gotta think about. I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
marriage is
thinking.
tough. Marriage is tough. So we raised 4 kids. We have 2 totally different personalities. Not going to talk bad shit about her. 2 totally different personalities. We just could not live together and be compatible together, which sucks because now I'm down here and I see the grandkids and I think, man, that'd be cool if we were all one unit again. But that's never going to happen. And again, I'm not saying anything bad about her, but I see that, like, when I got on the airplane, I'm like, man, these 2 grandparents were flying to Arizona to hang out with their daughter and husband and the grandkids. And I'm like, I missed that part, so I do have some level of irritation about how our relationship went. Because when you get married, you want to be there forever. But when it's time to get a divorce, it's time to get a divorce. But Tony's right. If you're going to lock it up, lock it up. But it's hard.
Yeah.
Men are so
It
different
is.
than women, man. They're 2 totally different animals. And either you're going to have to... I started living the life that I didn't like to live anymore. I used to be having friends come up all the time, and that just shut off because there was so much miserable stuff in the house. So we just didn't get along. So, but she's a great grandmother right now. I mean, she's changed Zay's life 100%. So
What's scary is just like, because it's like, yeah, lock it down and everything, but people change, right? It's like this person that you married might not be the same person in 20 years, 30 years.
yeah,
But, there's a difference now because men ain't really men anymore and women ain't really women anymore.
100%.
So people are confused where to be. So, like, my general principles with my daughters, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. You got the world beat if you just keep those things.
Yeah.
I'm divorced. I'm happily divorced. My only gripe is I don't get a family discount on potatoes.
because she owns a potato farm.
She married a potato farmer.
Damn, I don't get a discount.
How am I going to get French fries?
That's fire. Well, the hard thing is like our emotions towards, like how you're saying that you don't want to say anything bad, but there's that emotion that we have with the person, and it's like if we could just let that go. And I think it's changing, but I don't know what way it's changing because you guys grew up in where it's like you had to go meet people. Now people can literally sit at home and swipe and look at every they can look at a million people in their app. So like their thoughts and checklists are just so much broader. But like, I wish my dad grew up in that generation where it was like, okay, you're divorced, you're a fucking failure. You got divorced. How dare you get divorced? But
there's
it's
more
like,
to it.
how come? And I get it because Tim loves to do this. Shout out Tim. He'll go, you guys can't be friends? And I'm like, oh, he's right. I'm like, why can't I be friends? Why can't, if you really love somebody, it's really over and it's really like just want what's best. But it's just that human emotion that I think is just so hard to overcome sometimes with depth. I don't know where I'm going with it. You know what I mean?
No,
But
that was good.
Yeah.
There's more to it, though. I mean,
Like
back
you.
in the day when me and Dan was kids, the man generally went out and worked, and the women stayed home and took care of the kids. So our family unit was stronger because they had a strong mom at home to teach him why the man went out and earned whatever it is. Now you can't afford to do that. You have kids, you need both parents working.
Yeah,
Everything's
there's no
crazy.
dinners. There's no family dinners anymore.
yeah,
There's no
no.
family breakfast. There's
I raised my
None of that
kids.
stuff.
Family eats together.
I almost don't
Say
know.
it.
I think the middle class, it's almost like everybody has to work 2 jobs. I don't know.
100%.
I don't know if there is one job. That middle class, like own your home family dream.
I was talking to somebody in Bozeman, Montana. They pay $1,900 a month for one kid for daycare.
Oh my fuck.
Yeah. Can you imagine? You have a house payment, a car payment.
You know,
$1,900 a month.
I was really struggling because I have that guilt. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't give my dad. My dad had grandkids from my brother,
Right.
but my mom doesn't have any.
Right.
But I've been able to have that conversation. She's like, honey, she's like, don't worry about it. She's like, I don't even honestly want you to bring a kid into this world because of how crazy everything is and
Yeah.
money. And if I have a kid, my mom and dad gave me the best life as a child, and I just want to be able to do that too.
Right. Oh, that's huge.
And it's like, damn, shit's so expensive.
My mom's the opposite. She's like, I need grandkids.
Yeah, give me a goddamn grandchild.
Yep.
Well, back in our days, I mean, kids were your priority. When you have kids, your wife doesn't really stop, but the kids are now the priority. And people
Right.
don't do that. They're so selfish nowadays with their time and stuff. Where the kids are
Right.
at daycare, they're doing this, and the kids don't have the interaction, the family union. So everybody's independent.
Damn.
Father and mother, same thing.
People just changing so much too. Like, how many Tonys exist where you can just strike up a conversation with anyone that you meet? You know,
Indeed.
that's a real skill that I feel like is lost.
I'm
for
speaking
sure.
for the world. Thank God there's only one of me.
For real.
I'll second that.
This dude can turn a frown upside down real quick. It's real quick with it.
And it's so expensive. I know with my 4 kids, I think one summer we spent $30,000 on traveling.
Holy
All
shit.
4 of them were traveling. 3
Yeah.
into baseball and Michelle was into gymnastics.
Damn.
It's hotels, it's food, it's gas. It's
Yeah.
Then you got to pay the instructors. And then you got to buy the foo tutus that they wear.
Yeah.
and
Is
all the brand new Nike shoes.
Yeah.
Has time been feeling a lot faster for you guys as well? Does time go by quick?
Oh yeah.
Uh.
I can't believe I'm almost 45.
Wow,
Yeah.
45. I was gonna say 55, Dan.
No, I'm 45.
I'm kidding.
I'll be
Nope.
60 in June.
Well, even like I look at Elena and I can't believe how big and grown she is, and I'm sure and Zay.
Right. Yeah, it goes so
Pretty
fast.
sure Zay was 3 when I came out here.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
a fun kid.
Wow.
And he can bounce back. We can talk about addiction. That kid can bounce back from anything. I mean, he had a tough one growing up. But
And a happy kid.
yeah.
Just happy.
And I give kudos to Michelle on that. I mean, she's changed that kid a ton.
Talking about Michael.
Zaya.
Zaya.
Yeah.
Zaya had addictions?
No, had to live in that life as a little
Oh.
tiny kid with
with all the... Okay,
with
now I see
Michael
what you're
and his
saying.
mom and yeah.
Sorry, I was
Yeah.
confused for a second. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What did I not know?
Seeing him at Jits too. He's a good kid
Yeah.
for sure.
He's addicted to Takis. I had to buy him some this morning for school.
Zay...
You're gonna burn your little ass again.
My first time meeting Zay is when we were helping Michael move stuff out of that apartment, and he was just wanting to help us. And
Yeah.
he's just always a happy kid. It's really cool seeing him and Lena do jujitsu.
Yeah, and they're both getting really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched them yesterday.
And like they thoroughly enjoy it.
Yep.
There's some kids that go to the jits and they fight that battle every day
Oh,
of
yeah.
just going out on those mats.
Zay just had a pick 6 in flag football.
Really?
So cool. They showed it. It was on a video.
Uh-huh.
And dude, once he picked it, he was going to the house.
Uh-huh.
And he had a couple kids chasing after him. You could just see the ball's about to bounce out of his hand.
Uh-huh.
Like, you ain't gonna catch me. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Aw,
it was cool.
that's cool.
He'll be a good little athlete.
And that's the awesome part about having kids is watching them grow, watching them develop, watching them succeed, and watching them the heartbreak. It's phenomenal just to watch it. It makes once you have a kid, you really know what your purpose of life is.
And you got to give yourself a pat on the back, both you guys. Seriously, just creating families like that, and they all seem like they're, got good head on their shoulders.
Well, creating them is kind of the fun part. After that, it kind of goes downhill. Speaking from experience,
I think that was the last time Tony had sex.
are you
Probably-
sure they're mine?
Shit, Tony's telling me that he can't keep up with his sex life. He's got to fucking get tapped in. It's like, dude.
I'm telling you, almost every one of my exes are freaking nymphos.
How?
Dan's sitting there with me once at a pawn shop,
Wow.
and
That went bad.
this girl I was seeing, her dad's standing in front of me. Dan sat beside me. She's texting me naked pictures of herself. I'm sitting there going, this sucks.
Damn, some people just got it like that, huh?
I had to have to knock on the pawn shop back door
Uh-huh.
because he was more than likely getting knobber in the bathroom.
Damn,
Right?
that's lit, Tony.
If he wasn't, the other guy that worked for him was
Oh,
banging
you're
some of
good.
the nastiest shit back there.
Dan's like, how do I get on this?
No, I didn't. I didn't even sit on the toilet in that place anymore.
I'll loan you $20
coming in there.
That's funny.
Matter of fact, John there, he actually broke the sink off the wall
In the back.
in the bathroom. Yeah.
Going too hard on a girl?
I don't know what he was doing. I don't want to know.
You could tell Tony grew up like selling cowboy hats at at
Concerts.
concerts and stuff.
Mhm.
You go into his pawn shop. In the bathroom is the refrigerator.
Yes.
Loaf of bread on top of the refrigerator. Chips still open right at the shitter.
Ugh.
And he grew up like that.
Yeah.
Or he worked like that.
Chips next to the shitter.
You're always trying to save time.
What? What time are we saving here, Tony?
You're getting rid of dinner and having lunch at the
Oh
same time.
my
It's all good.
God.
Saving time.
That's the new
The
meaning
poop-
of a shit sandwich. He
the-
was
I know.
making sandwiches while he's taking a shit.
The poop particles in the air.
Yeah.
I can't do that one, Tony, and I'm a thick boy. You
I
know?
worked a concert with him one time in North Dakota.
Oh boy.
The reason I did it,
Good, sincere. This is
Yeah.
really true stuff here.
Michelle, she don't listen to this shit, right?
I hope not.
Okay.
She just texted me though. You want to read the text?
No,
And I hope Sean don't get mad.
no.
Love you, Sean. I'm sorry.
Daniel's my third youngest,
Oh, yes.
coolest kid.
We love
Love
Daniel.
that kid. He's
Daniel.
a 3-sport athlete, National Honor Society. Never one time did a coach, teacher, bus driver, or anything say anything bad about Daniel. In fact, it was all compliments. He says to me, "Dad, I don't want to go play football. I want to go to the University of Missoula." And I'm like, "Absolutely. We'll help you out through your first year." I mean, 4.0 student for all 4 years, academic awards. Told Michelle that. And we weren't getting along really well anyway. I'm like, "Hey, we need to help D get his first year." And she's like, "No, absolutely not. He can do it all on his own." And I'm like,
Oh.
Sean and Michael are never going to go to college, more than likely.
Uh-huh.
Daniel's worked his ass off for it, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
She said, "If you do that, I will divorce you the next day."
Really?
Yeah. If you get a loan to help Daniel go to school, I'll divorce you the next day. A couple weeks later, I called Tony. I'm like, "Hey, you got any gigs?" So I drove all the way down to North Dakota where he was setting up his hat thing, and I worked there for 5 days. Rained.
9 days.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I got a funny story too, you know. On
Yeah.
the way there, I got pulled over. Sent him a picture of the popo in my mirror. He sent me a picture of his mirror. No popo here.
No.
So Tony paid me, I think it was, well,
$3
actually,
grand.
he tried fucking me over. He's like, gives me a sock full of cash like it was a dope deal. Here's $3,000, and I get back home, not even thinking twice. I think there was like 2,100. I'm like, "Oh, you fucker."
Was there anything left in that sock?
It was a sticky sock.
It came off the doorknob. Thank God you didn't come in.
But he ended up giving me the 3,000, but I gave it to Daniel for school. So,
Yeah.
so he could go to college. But
He did.
yeah.
It's the things you do as when you're parents, you know?
But you live on a cot in these tents. It rained every fucking night. Water was running down underneath you because you're on the asphalt and you're in these little cots. You're eating nasty shit, drinking a lot.
Didn't you have this thing going with George? George was there helping me too. Man, you guys had some weird shit going on there too.
No,
Like,
George is so cool. He's Mexican
uh-huh.
and he doesn't speak very good English, but he's
Uh-huh.
a cool dude.
Yeah.
I know. We never. What? I don't even know where you're going with that.
I don't know. There's some surprises in sleeping bags, like I don't know, underwear, bananas, all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
going
because
on
you
there.
gued did that. Yeah,
We
I'm
did
Mr. I'm Mr. Innocent. I don't fucking do prank games like you guys.
Yeah, you're right. I'm
So.
sorry. I must be. I don't know. I'm thinking of
I didn't
Dan
touch.
O'Malley.
I didn't touch George's jalapeno.
He said he touched your shrimpy.
I wish we had a couple brewskis right now. We'd really be getting let loose.
Get
A
rolling.
little too early in the AM for some brewskis, though. My God. Papa O'Malley, give us something. I know you wanted to talk about addiction just because you've helped a lot of people. And that's one thing that I really admire from you with your police service. Deputy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, addiction's rampant, man. It runs everywhere. Ironically enough, on my way here, get a phone call from a dude that I used to coach him in football when I coached Sean, I think, either Sean or Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Ran into him at a convenience store probably 2 months ago. "Hey, are you Dan O'Malley?" I said, "Yeah." "Can I just give you a hug?" So big dude, kind of like your size, gives me a hug, and he's like, "My name's blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I remember coaching you in football and stuff." So this is a cue for vapors because as I'm talking to him, he's 34 years old.
Uh-huh.
Just in and out of addiction, in and out of jails. I don't think he ever went to prison or anything yet, but he took a hit off his vape, and I'm like, "Dude, what's up with that?" He's been doing it 10 years. He's got popcorn lung,
Oh.
nasal cannula, and if he doesn't take the medication prescribed to him, then it'll just eat his lungs. And he's still
Damn.
vaping.
Wow.
He's got popcorn lung.
Yeah, from vaping.
Yeah.
He called me on the way here. He sent me a message. "Hey, is there any way I could talk to you?" I said, "Yeah." So I called him. He's like, "I'm not doing very good. I just got arrested again, living with my mom. He's got a couple kids that he's really not a part of, wants to be, but me and my mom got into a big fight, went back into jail. They UA'd me. I was pissed hot for meth. And so my words to him were, I said, you need to go to treatment today. And he said, I could go to treatment today. I just need to make a phone call. And I said, do not call me. If you do not, within the hour, if you don't call that person and reach out to him to try to get yourself into treatment the next couple of days, then don't ever fucking call me again. And he's like, I got you. Respect. So like my phone's charging. But yeah, that shit happens all the time.
No BS. I have never met anybody that's helped more people than Dan.
I know.
In the pawn business, I mean, his name was fluent there with mostly people with drugs. I mean, even the cartel would bring these people in to make them sell their stuff to pay for their drugs.
Damn, cartel's going into all the way up to Montana.
Oh, we just had that Venezuelan gang in there. They just arrested a couple right out of Bozeman.
Really?
Yeah, they're in Montana. It makes sense for a drug cartel to be in Montana because we have less law enforcement and we're not aware of all their games. So they hit our reservations and they live on the reservations. There's no law enforcement on a reservation other than BIAs, Bureau of Indian Affairs cops.
Yeah.
And they're strapped. They can't do a whole hell of a lot. So the Mexican cartel's super smart. I've arrested a couple main cartel members, and even my question to them is like, do you guys fucking smoke dope, meth? They're like, fuck no, look what it does to you white people. We'll hit the ganja all day long, but none of us smoke meth because it fucks with your head so much. I arrested a guy, cool story. Great Falls is an hour and a half away from Helena. We get an ATL with the Great Falls just had a pursuit. This guy, I end up meeting him. He's in prison. Hopefully I'll go meet up with him too when I go meet up with the other guy. But so the guy is one of the bigger cocaine dealers in Great Falls. Cocaine dealer gets popped in California. He switches to meth, and his mind just gets all fucked off. So his cocaine dealer partner is in a house. He's fucked off. He hasn't slept in 3 or 4 days. He's thinking that his partner's fucking his old lady. So he has these 2 kids drive him down this alley in Great Falls. He gets out, goes in the house, and he's you got to understand methamphetamine, but he thinks that light socket right there has got a camera in it, and that we're watching him, and he thinks that now his partner's a snitch, and he can see cars out there. He goes up to his partner who's sitting on the chair, and he's like, "Where's my old lady at?" And he's like, "Dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about." He's like, "I know you're fucking my old lady." He's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Takes a gun out, puts it in his eye. He's cross-eyed anyway, but he says, "I put it in this fucking cross-eyed." He said, "I saw his eyeball go out the back of his head." Jumps back in his car. These 2 kids are now kidnapped. They didn't know what they were getting into. Has them drive to Helena. They go to Helena. They go into a grocery store. For whatever reason, the guy was a dumb fuck at this point, but he lets the girl from in the car go into the convenience store to pay for the gas while he gasses it up. He looks up and he sees her talking to him, the clerk, and the clerk turns around like this. And he's like, "Oh, fuck, the gig's up." He jumps in his car, takes off, gets into a pursuit. We ended up catching him by my house 3 days later. I ended up finding him in a trailer way up in the mountains, right by my house. I slept with an AR-15 that last couple nights, but we ended up catching him in there. He had no water, no food. He took his shirt off to make socks on his feet because it was all in the mountains up there. But when we got him, he was pretty close to dying. I think he would have been about dead. But we get him in the car, take him to the ambulance, then I go interview him, and he admits to it. But yeah, he was a rapper.
Just shot a dude. That poor man that got shot minding his own business, and then just horrible luck.
This guy's sitting in prison going, "I don't even fucking remember doing it." The guy I'm going to go interview in 2 weeks, same thing, fucked off on dope for 10 days. Can't find his dope guy. Thinks somebody's ripping him off, thinking everybody's ripping him off. Goes to this girl's house. She's living in the basement. She's 30-ish, living in the basement with her 2 kids, and her mom and dad live upstairs. He gets there at 10:30 in the morning. They get into some kind of altercation or fight. He kills her. He hits her in the head with a carpenter's level. It crushes her head, and then has an aluminum can. He's smoking her in the head with that. Buries her under all the clothes in the laundry room. Dad comes home, super nice guy, comes home, and he's yelling for his daughter. He goes downstairs and looks, in his words, he's like, "Fuck, my daughter's such a pig." Looks in the laundry room, there's just dirt, clothes, and shit all over the place. And as he's leaving, he looks down, and you can see her foot hanging out at one of the things. Uncovers it, she's dead. I know who the guy is because I was working dope so hard, and I knew his relationship with that group. Ended up catching him in a trailer, go to interview him, and he's so fucking twisted off on dope, man. All he did is rocked for 3 hours straight, screaming, "Is she alive? Is she alive?" We're like, "Dude, tell us her name," because we kind of had to for the confession. But anyway, yeah. He's been in prison 17 years. He's probably 40-ish now, and he's got the rest of his life there. So I asked the warden, I'm like, "Hey, can you get a hold of the dude and ask him if I can come up and just bullshit with him?" His appeals are all gone. He can't do anything. I can't fuck up a case anymore or anything. So they asked him, and he's like, "Fuck yeah, I'd love to talk to O'Malley." So I told Sean that, and he's like, "Dude, fucking do that on YouTube." You know how many hits you're gonna get?
Oh yeah, no people.
If he went around to the prisons and talked
No.
to like, what I want to ask him is, where did your life get all fucked off at? Because he's got a
Yeah.
pretty good family.
Mhm.
I coached that girl's 2 kids in football for a couple of years, so I got really close to the grandparents,
Mhm.
the deceased girls' grandparents or parents. But yeah, I just want to find out where it got all twisted off and you know what happened. But I know what he's going to tell me. He's like, I was just fucked on dope for 10 days. They don't think straight. Michael doesn't care that I talk about his addiction. I'm probably the most popular cop, least dope cop in Montana, or at least in the Helen area.
Mhm.
Michael was so fucked off on dope one day. He got on Facebook Live at a grocery store,
Mhm.
and he rode his pedal bike there. It's turns out to be a funny story, but not so funny. But
Mhm.
he's on Facebook Live, and I get a phone call from somebody saying, don't get on Facebook Live. Michael's on Facebook Live saying, these fucking cops in this town are so fucking stupid. I just stole this deli sandwich from here. And he showed the name of the grocery store, and he said, and they're calling the cops right now, but them stupid fuckers, they won't be able to catch me. And by the way, my dad's the biggest piece of shit here. The biggest dope dealer, fucking all informants. And I'm like, damn. Gets on his bike, goes on a pedal bike. One cop in that area is on a pedal bike as well, doing bike patrol.
No way.
They get into a fucking pursuit.
Oh
on
no,
pedal
the pedal.
The pedal bike's got a little red and blue, and he's
Yeah.
like, hey, please pull over.
Yeah.
He has to pit maneuver Michael. No shit. Michael rolls over, falls out. The bad part is, because I met with a cop a month later, the bad part is when Michael fell, and he was so twisted, reached into his backpack and said, you better fucking shoot me, I got a gun. And starts
Oh, no.
pulling his hand out. That guy said he went back and watched his body camera. And this guy's a veteran in the military. He's from Florida. He's been in a lot of active shit. He said, Dan, I looked at my finger and it was shaking so bad on that trigger. He said, if I'd have seen anything black come out of there, I'd have killed your kid. So,
Heavy.
yeah. So,
Heavy.
anyway, Michael's sober 3 years. Amazing, amazing son.
Yeah, and
Amazing dad.
he's been Michael. Like, I've given Michael a lot of credit and respect because I saw him when he was low, and he is completely different. He's so happy. I've told it to him many times when he comes in the coffee shop. I'm like, dude, I'm so happy for you.
Right.
Because you could just see that he is so happy, so much in a better place. It's crazy. He's got a lot of good people. Sean's a great person, Tim, you. And it's just crazy how drugs can completely change a good person.
There's 2 points to that. Michael grew up with a mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew he was going to be able to beat the addiction without a lot of treatment stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you get a kid that's, on a reservation or just grew up with a shitty mom and no dad or vice versa, neglect, abuse and stuff, their chances of recovery are a lot lower. They really got to go through a lot of treatment and a lot of understanding and reworking the brain.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody that grew up with a mom and dad really don't have to. Michael had some Christian stuff. We grew up, we did the church stuff, and he relied on that heavy to get him off this drugs. But you take a dysfunctional kid that's super poor, been beat up by mom, dad. We see sexual abuse all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to rewire that kid's brain when he's all fucked off on dope unless he's a couple of years in treatment. So,
Yeah.
but there was another point I was going to make.
How is your faith, by the way, Dan, with everything that you've gone through?
It's good. Yeah.
It never was like shaken or
No.
anything?
No. Everything that's gone shitty in my life, I did it. Yeah. It wasn't any higher power doing it to me. It was stupid decisions I made in my life that but yeah.
All my problems always resolve around me. That's how I am.
It is 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can blame everybody else. Me and Michelle got a divorce, and there for a long time was like, because you're such a bitch and blah, blah, blah. But it's the shit in your own head that does it. But so I was going to make another point with addiction. Oh, intelligent people. Those are the hardest motherfuckers to get off dope. And Michael's, out of all 4 of my kids, arguably the smartest one.
Yeah.
They are tough because if you do an AA or an NA or you do the 12 steps or whatever, or you go to treatment, they're
Conjuring.
they're telling themselves, I fucking got this figured out day one.
Yeah.
We sent Michael to a treatment center. Actually, we didn't. The courts did. Sent him to a 30-day treatment center in Butte. And I was hoping 30 days. He called me in 15 days, and he's like, you can come and get me. And I'm like, you've only been there 15 days. He's like, yeah, they handed me a workbook, and I finished it. They're like, well, you're done here. That's our court systems.
Yeah.
Treatment center. Those are fucked.
No, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But he can just write through that shit so fast. And to a counselor that's getting paid $19 an hour and wanting to get the next one in, they're like, hey, he's cured.
Yep.
But
And how people can sign themselves out sometimes in situations, and it's like, that's fucking crazy.
yeah,
It's like if we got the whole family saying this needs to happen,
right.
and motherfuckers can just sign themselves out, like that's a problem.
And Michael, it's kind of funny. He took on my tour. I mean, he's working with addiction right now. He's working in that house with dealing with addictions, and he loves it, and he's amazing at it. And so
People would love your content if Sean's right. Like, and I know like you're just not that kind of guy, but you are actually like you don't care about YouTube. You're wanting to know these things, but as a viewer, I'm drawn to that. I've been watching people. This guy who goes into last where they're about to be executed, death row, and he'll go and he'll ask people what got you here,
Yeah.
what did all this,
Right.
and it's fascinating. Some people they're like completely fucked and are just you're going, oh my god, that's an evil person,
Right.
and then some people are completely changed and you go, oh fuck, I don't want this person to be executed. They're gonna
Right.
be fucking executed. It's like, oh shit.
Some of the biggest compliments I get on my kids, a lot of people are just adore Michael to death because if he had $10, he'd give 9 to a homeless person,
Oh yeah.
100% without
Yeah,
even
dude.
eating or anything. One of the coolest compliments, and I got that with Michelle and Daniel too, but the coolest compliment I got at the Jelly Roll concert.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch that prayer, so we're hanging out with Jelly Roll for 45 minutes in this thing. He's
Which is
talking-
pretty sick.
Yeah, it was so sick. That was so fun.
You're a big Jelly Roll fan, so I bet that was
Yeah.
probably whoa.
Because his
You're
addiction,
the one that showed me Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
yeah, his addiction songs are just insane. But when they went out and did that prayer, and Jelly Roll does his prayer, you know, Sean and Tim on their faith.
Yeah.
But when Jelly Roll said,
Oh yeah.
I want to thank Tim and Sean for not only changing my life, but the band's life. I'm like, what the fuck? I was
Yeah.
in the club yesterday. We're picking up Zay. Some kid came up to me and said, dude, I'm joining this because of what Sean's done for me through podcasts and stuff.
Yep.
So those things are huge when you hear that as a dad, like, hey, you changed my life. So
He changed my life, Papa O'Malley.
yeah, he's got a big heart.
Yeah.
Not very tough, but he's got a big heart.
Never in a million years did I think asking your son for an autograph would lead to me doing a podcast with you.
Right.
Life is very weird, my man.
It is weird.
Sounds like it went downhill.
Damn, Tony with the quips.
I thought that fucker was sleeping over here.
Yeah. No, he's been ready to fire this whole
I
time.
know,
I
I know.
feel it. I feel it.
You don't keep him down.
I
for
want
very
it
long.
out. I want to get it out. If we had some brewskis, it'd be going down.
Tony's addicted to Viagra, just so you know, ladies. He snorts it.
Hey, man. Whatever gets it going for the flowing.
I got a stiff neck. We're good.
Tony's going out one day in sex. That's going to be the way Tony goes out in this world.
Yeah.
Pumping away.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Don't be jealous.
Or fixing something while getting sloppy toppy.
Here's a tough question for you
Whoa.
boys.
What?
What are you going to do when Big Tone leaves next week for Montana?
Well, it's going to be very sad. Tony, you bring a lot of great positive energy. But you say you want to go and live on a boat somewhere. That
Come hang
sounds
it.
fucking incredible, man.
Yeah, come hang out with me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I would love to go fucking fishing with you, man.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah, dude. There's
Yeah.
nothing more than I outdoors, fishing, fire, eating good.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You know, people offer shit like Tony just did, but he truly means it.
Oh,
He's
I
like,
know.
Fuck, wherever I'm at, come down here. And he's,
Let's do it.
yeah.
I don't like when people like. I feel very guilty when people help like you, Tony, because you're just so fucking helpful. I'm like, God, what do I Tony? But you don't want anything.
No.
No.
You just do it out of your heart, and you're a good person. So it is gonna be very sad and weird without you. Sean's gonna be fucked. That guy's gonna have to figure something out.
Well, with a dad like Dan, he's got it figured out already.
You
I
ready
got
to build another sauna?
I got my toolbox.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, we
I
spent
looked
about-
at that at Airbnb. I'm like, what the fuck? That big round one?
Yeah, all
I don't
for
know what he's gonna
nothing.
do with that.
Just a
You know-
$10,000 sauna tossed to the
Yeah.
side, not even wanted.
I'm pretty sure I know what Sean's going to do
With that sauna?
with Dan in charge.
Oh, with Dan in charge?
Yeah. He's going to sell everything and move to Taiwan or something.
I got a
So
toolbox that my ex-wife didn't get.
Damn.
I come here just yesterday. We were at the Sean's house, and you guys were digging holes for concrete.
Uh-huh.
And I went to go grab the shovel. I'm like, motherfucker, that's the one I bought 15 years ago. But
I bet.
He's really got an attachment to this hammer, too. It's got Bob's name on it
Yeah.
now. He just hasn't picked it up yet.
that's an inside joke.
Yeah, no, Tony, it is freaking goated, though, that your life, my man, owning all these businesses, doing all your things. You're an entrepreneur. You're a self-made entrepreneur. And now you're living life the way you want. You say, hey, I want to go do this. I'll go do that. For the younger kids like me and even people that are younger, like that's what it's all about, wanting to achieve that.
Just be honest in life, man. Life is just be good. Just be great.
Right?
And no fear. You can't have fear of.
No.
That's what I've learned from Tony. Not very much because I taught him most of his shit. But don't be afraid to fuck up. That's what Tony.
cares?
He'll go tear into a motor or build a house or whatever. Fortunately, he could afford to pay for some errors that he made along the way, but he ain't afraid to go do something that he doesn't know anything about because he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Most of life is easy. People make it complicated.
Ha. That's a good one right there.
That is a good one.
Just live life and have fun.
There's no way Tony would be down here doing all the work for my family if it wasn't paid to him in Montana, I don't think. Not that I did a lot of work for you, but helping out with your kids, your girls,
Oh yeah, yeah.
seeing what I did with addiction and people. And
Yeah.
so I think it was kind of like, hey, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. Well, that sounded really gross because I've never scratched his back, nor would I.
It's okay if
But-
you have.
No.
No.
We're not judging here.
Might have
Let
touched,
it out.
Might have touched his butt.
Okay, now we're keeping it.
It'd be so funny. You take the headphones off. You got your ear pierced.
He does have a Prince Albert, I heard.
Well, I think my generation, you know, when you get told you could be anything and do anything, you got all the school and you're fucking guided into shit. It's just that anxiety of failing. It's the anxiety of, I don't know. I obviously don't speak for everybody, but I feel like anxiety's up big time with
Right.
it.
That's a great point. I have a guy that's working for me, and he has 2 daughters, and he was telling me that they were playing whatever game, Sorry or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, do me a favor, don't let them win every time. Teach them what losing. I never had my kids lose. We'd play whatever game, and I would cheat to lose because I didn't want them to lose. And that was probably one of the biggest things. So when they go out and play a football game and they lose, they don't know what it's like.
Right?
So I'm telling young kids, young parents, make your kids lose at games that you're playing with them. Make them feel what the fuck it's like to lose.
Shout out my mom. We would play checkers and chess growing up, and she'd whoop my ass all the time because I was very like, God, I need to.
Yeah.
Me and Brendan were always really competitive and shit. Like,
But if you beat him at chess too much, he'll never play again.
Yep. And like we played Diddy Kong Racing. Like my mom would play video games, and it was always about being the best.
That was always a good time.
Yeah.
Us
And in
doing
poker, we recently went to Vegas and played some pokers with the top dogs, and it's like, damn, I'm actually good at poker because of our childhood. Like I just don't realize it. You know what I mean? I don't have that addiction. I'm starting to. Huh.
Don't like either one of those guys.
That's fair.
I do not like
Well,
either
there
one of
that
those
went.
guys. Now I can see Sugar Sean behind me. All right.
Calm down. He's back there. He's right behind you.
God, I was looking-
We got him right there.
We got to cut out. What more do you want?
I know. Well, there's a bullet in his eye. What the hell's up with that? What's that indentation?
I think there was a camera in there and we had to take it
Yeah,
out
we
or
had to take
something.
it out.
I'm just kidding.
Is it weird for you when you see shit like that? And then, like, I just showed you Sean's action figure. What's it like with your son being an action figure?
Yeah, no, it's totally crazy when you go into the. We really built that Happy Dad's up in Montana, in one of our biggest convenience stores. It's super weird going in there and seeing those posters all over the place.
And just seeing him?
Yeah, yep,
That's got to be cool, though.
it is. It's super. You know what? As a dad, all you can tell another dad is, I hope you get to achieve something like that. I hope you get to feel it, because you get to a point where you almost sound like you're bragging, and you don't want to be that guy. But people ask you so many questions about your kid and how does it feel, and then you start bragging it. I do, but at some point I'm like, kind of was overpowering. But it's usually they come up and ask me or talk to me about it. But it's all the time. Yeah, there's a lot of
Every 15 feet.
yeah. You Sugar Sean's dad.
Dude, it sucked. We can't go anywhere. We used to go to the mall.
Yeah,
We can't go to the mall. And I feel bad for Sean because, like, even when he goes to support his boys fight,
right.
it's like he's sitting there because he's worried about drawing. He doesn't want to affect any of his boys.
That's super. And when he goes to Great Falls, he has to hide in the locker room, and the fans don't understand that.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he's just so fucking cool. He can't come up and do autographs.
No.
It's all about he wants the fighters to get all the attention.
Yeah, it's
you
about his
know.
boys.
And-
And then I've been in the stands where the promotions want to talk to Sean and ask him shit. He's like, hey, it's not about me tonight. It's about my boys who just won.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, fuck.
Boy, he's got some legends coming up. Future legends?
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Tim and Sean are building absolute beasts. Well, and they've laid down Sean. What attracted me to Sean he was the new generation.
Right.
He had a blueprint that no one else had, and that came from his own podcast, YouTube channel, Twitch, personality,
Clothing.
his brand,
Yep.
his clothing,
Yep.
his excitement that he had when he came into the UFC. I still remember him talking to Dana White. He wasn't supposed to be at the open workouts, but he just said, I'm going to be there.
Right.
I'm putting myself in that open workouts.
Right.
That was something that really, I was like, dude, this is the next wave. So now that it's cool seeing Tommy, Ezra, and all these people, they're having their cameramans around. They
Right.
got Tommy's cooking up some fire merch. I'm trying to get JJ to fucking get some merch. Ezra's got fire merch. So this blueprint that Tim and Sean have really laid out for these next wave of guys, it's fucking sick.
It is.
Oh.
And the biggest compliment you could ever give Sean is one of the best dads ever. He is an incredible dad.
Oh, dude,
Man,
people don't see it, and it's I like it that way
right?
because he is like it's Elena,
Yeah,
and I love seeing when he'll watch her jujitsu videos, and you just
Right.
see it on Sean.
yeah. The pride in his
Yeah.
face. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
dude.
he's a great dad. Which, as a parent, Tony will back me on that. As a parent, you want your kids to be great parents,
Yeah.
and that's
You want him to be better than you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's that good soul that you guys all have. So it just went to Sean. It'll go to Elena too.
It went to Michael too. I mean,
Yeah.
Michael's got 2 kids, and he's an amazing dad too.
Dude, he looks incredible now too, man. He's
Ripped.
turned it around.
Yeah.
Seriously, he definitely
a
would inspire
specimen.
anybody that he's talking to. Like
yeah,
that.
I wish you guys would get him back. I know when Tim and Sean were doing the pod, when I'd read a little bit of comments, it's all about get that kid back on here. There's
I
a
wish-
lot of people in your audience that are dealing with. They're 20 years ago you would go in front of a crowd. I did a lot of drug talks, and you could say, how many family members have somebody addicted to drugs here? Very few would raise their hand. Alcohol, everybody raised their hand. But
Yeah.
now you go in front of a crowd, 90% of the people are raising their hands because a brother, sister, mom, dad, somebody's addicted to fucking drugs.
What is the fentanyl pandemic going on right now in Montana? Is that pretty heavy up there too?
It's huge. The blue pills, yeah.
Yeah.
Fentanyl, yeah, and heroin mixed. And when I was in the ER, I had a diverticulitis, so I had to go to the ER. But I was talking to the nurse about addiction course, and she said in this last week there's been 5 kids in here that had eaten mushrooms and went into seizure just instantly. 5 kids in about a 5-hour span. Not even related. Not even related. Yeah, just doing psychedelic mushrooms. Those kids didn't all come in together. 5 different kids within, I think she said 5 hours, came in and they were seasoned when they came in.
So is fentanyl in the mushrooms?
I think that's what they must be doing.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, well then no more mushrooms for Schmidt. I haven't done them in a long time, but
Well, if you're getting it from the right guy, the same
Yeah.
person or whatever, this
Yeah.
is just a bunch of shitbags and trying
I know,
to make
but
some
you just
money.
never know. And
No.
my brain never could. I would never have connected mushrooms and fentanyl. Like I thought fentanyl was like pills, coke, all that kind of shit. In my mind, I'm like, okay, mushrooms grow out of the ground.
Right.
So, and same thing with weed. Can you mix fentanyl with weed?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I don't know why I've interviewed 100 different dealers. Like, why the fuck would you have something and then add something more to it? The cost of what you're selling is going up. Why don't you just sell meth as meth? Don't try putting this other shit in there. And it's like a trademark for them. They're like, yeah, if somebody takes my meth and it really gets them fucked off, they're going to want to buy my meth again.
Yeah.
So they'll add something different to it
Yeah.
to get them all fucked off. But
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad, bro.
Yeah. The fentanyl is a real problem, though. The numbers are pretty crazy with how many people are dropping, and it's taken a lot of our favorite music artists and
Right.
it's the younger generation, and it's even the numbers of the homeless people it's killing.
Right. Yeah. Cause
I thought
it's so
fentanyl
cheap.
was a lot cheaper. I thought it was like 30 cents a fucking pill or some shit.
I don't know. I haven't bought any for a while.
Yeah.
I've been out of working narcotics for 12 years, so I don't know the prices, but I see the end result of it all the time.
I apologize. I also forgot that you were done with the narcotics part of your career.
Been done- Yep. I
12
know.
years on that. That's a long time.
Yeah, I know. I did narcotics for 7 years. I worked.
7.
I worked narcotics for 7. I've been away from it for 12 years.
Oh, okay. God,
Been retired in law enforcement 5 years.
So what are you doing? Are everything you do right now volunteer?
No, I work for a company called Montana Association of Counties. They're like the insurance companies for law enforcement,
Uh-huh.
and I do risk management. So I go to the jails and I go to the sheriff's department, try to mitigate their risk, like the hangings and assaults and shit we're seeing in our jail. So
Oh.
Wow.
we brought in body scanners because
Uh-huh.
long time ago, a cop or a attorney in Missoula got arrested for DUI. They strip searched him.
Mm-hmm.
He filed a complaint. So there's a class action lawsuit. Like, you can't strip search a dude just coming in there on a misdemeanor. Our thing is, well, even if you're in a misdemeanor, if you got something up your ass, you're going to bring it in, whether it be a cell phone or a knife or a bunch of dope.
Uh-huh.
So we stopped doing cell phone search or
Misdemeanor.
misdemeanor cell searches.
Mm-hmm.
And then I bought in body scanners. So when everybody goes into the jail, now they scan their body
Uh-huh.
just to see what. There's some weird shit that. There's a dude in one of the counties. This was kind of his MO. He was addicted to prescription pills, so he
Uh-huh.
liked to hurt himself. So we'd have to take him to the emergency room. Dude swallowed his fucking glasses. I'm not even shitting you. I saw the X-ray, and they weren't broken apart. It was the glasses with the earpiece.
Uh-huh.
And then he had his arm in a sling, and so he had that little clasp on there, that metal clasp.
Uh-huh.
Swallowed that fucker, and on the X-rays you see his glasses and that clasp in there. So he could go to the emergency room. They have to cut him open. He don't care
Fuck.
about that, but he gets
Uh-huh.
pain pills for the next 2 months.
Wow.
Oh God.
all the time. There's another X-ray. It wasn't law enforcement related, but the guy selling us the machines worked in the hospital. Bud Light bottle all the way up dude's ass.
Oh.
Right next to it was a hanger because he couldn't get it out. Once it goes in your ass,
Oh.
it just tightens it in there.
Oh.
The hanger where the clip was at, he was trying to squeeze it up his ass to hook the bottle to pull it out.
The entire bottle?
The whole entire, once it goes up, it just acts like a suction cup and you can't get it out. You gotta go to the emergency room.
Oh.
So we call it Butt Light.
Fuck.
We call it Butt Light now instead of Bud Light. But yeah, insane the amount of shit.
Dude, I haven't clenched my butt cheeks like that in a long time. Fuck.
That's how most mules run dope. They run 2 ounces up their ass or whatever. The girls are really good about up their hoochie.
Yeah.
They'll pack it up in there. But yeah, not a Bud Light bottle.
Yeah, I learned that in Narcos. That show Narcos when they were using the pregnant girls.
Yeah, I arrested a girl that we knew she had 2 ounces up her hoo-ha.
Really?
Yeah, her and I are...
2 ounces.
Good story.
We go...
Of coke?
No, meth.
Of meth?
Yeah, I'll tell the story real quick.
Yeah, good story.
Snitch tells me, calls me and says, hey, my best friend's living in Idaho. Already been kidnapped by the Mexican cartel, taken to California, head crushed in, raped for 10 days, went into a coma for a month, comes back out, she's still got to sell dope. She, at the time, was the biggest, her bust was the biggest amount of methamphetamine in that city. Anyway, says, hey, we got to get her out of Idaho. The snitch knew me and said, can we get her to come down here and you could try to offer some type of treatment or something? I'm like, yeah. So I take over the cell phone, her name's Steph. Stephanie's going to bring me 2 ounces of dope. And so long story short, she gets there.
That's a movie right there. That's setting that up. I bet that you, every time you set something up, do you have a feeling in you?
Oh yeah. There's
Like a nerve?
A lot of adrenaline and shit.
Uh-huh.
She rolls up and I get a county unit to pull her over, lights to pull her over. I go up to her and she's just a bitch, but understandably, she's been raped, she's been kidnapped, said she got touched by a cop in her own city, hates cops, hates anybody, hasn't slept in 3 or 4 days. And she's just being a bitch to the cop. And then I roll up and I'm like, hey, what's up, Steph? I don't fucking know who you are. And I'm like, yeah, you do know. And I don't know who you are. And so I send her a message on her phone and it's like, brrr. And that's when shit starts clicking in her head like, oh, this is a fucker I've been texting for 2 days.
Yeah.
So Canine rolls up and there's a passive alert dog and an aggressive alert dog. So an example of a passive alert we'd send it to the car, and when it smells dope, it just sits and looks at its trainer. Them motherfucking aggressive ones, they got a different mindset. They smell dope, they're going to eat through whatever it is to get to that dope.
Oh my God.
So I told Steph that. I said, we don't have a passive, we have an aggressive alert dog. She's
don't
like,
hear
what does that mean? And I'm like, if I open that door and let that dog out, and then I looked right at her crotch, I said, it'll go through the upholstery, down to the springs, and it's going to buy it right where that dope's at. And she's crossing her legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, do we need to go talk? And I'm like, yeah. Long story short, I should have put her in federal prison for probably 30 years because her criminal history was so bad. Got to know her for the next 2-3 weeks, interviewed her every day, told me about her shitty childhood coming up and how she got kidnapped by the Mexican cartel. I made a deal with our county attorney, send her to Idaho, let her do her 2 years in Idaho State Prison. And then if she doesn't do well, then we can jam her up with these charges. She did. 2 years later, she calls me and she's like, hey, you changed my life, blah, 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 blah. So now we go out and do talks all over the time. You guys didn't come to Helena with Sean when I did my drug talk with her.
I've never been to Montana yet.
Oh.
He's never been there.
I feel like I've
What?
heard this story before,
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So
I feel like, I remember this one.
yeah, her and I are super close. We do drug talks together. That's what I was telling Jelly Roll when we were talking to him. He's like, dude, me and you need to talk. So I'm like, well, where are you, Jelly? But so I haven't heard back from him.
He's playing football last
So
night.
Jelly, if you're listening, call me.
I wish Jelly Roll was listening. That'd be sick.
Are
Was he-
passive dogs real? I have to know. Is that just a tactic?
No.
That's a mental game.
There's
for sure.
more passive dogs than there are aggressive alert dogs.
Okay,
'Cause
that was a real thing. I was just like,
No, passive ones. Aggressive alert dogs, them motherfuckers have a different mind of their own, man. I've almost been bit by a couple aggressive dogs in our police office, in our office. Little fucker will just decide, I'll probably have dope all over me from all the drug busts, but no, they're real.
I was just say, do you got some in your coochie or what?
Did you ever watch Cops?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wish they'd bring Cops back, man.
Yeah.
I watched that shit, and when they get the dog, like the guy's doing just about everything he can to get away, but then once them dogs come out and there's guns,
man.
they're screaming,
Yeah.
get him, stop.
Yeah. No, they're
I love it. I don't know why I love it so much. I miss Cops.
yeah, I'd rather get shot than bit. But
Oh, yeah, no. Fuck
No.
that. I don't want to get shot or bit by a dog. I just,
Sean and I went over to Tim's house yesterday,
uh-huh.
and that little fucking dog
Beetle?
at Tim's,
Beetle?
he came out of the house when I'm sitting there talking to me and Sean and Mariah are there.
Yep.
Sean's like, Dad, you better watch out. And that little fucker came all the way from the house. I ran through, and Mariah starts laughing. She's like, I've never seen anybody get through our gate that fast. Because that dog was beelining for me.
Warlike's terrified of it.
I am too. It's the ugliest little thing.
Yeah. You got to let it know, man. Hey,
I've
it's
tried.
okay.
The first time I
It's
was over at
okay.
Tim's house, I was like, I'm the boss, bitch. I ain't afraid of you.
Nope.
And
She
then he
don't
ran
want
away
that.
from me, and then she bit me on the ankle.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to go, hey, I respect. This
No.
is your area.
No.
I'm in it.
No, he just needs to put that fucker in a closet when I'm there.
As soon as
Beetle's
it bites you, it changes his identity.
Well-
That's a football at that point.
Also, I'm going to defend Beetle because once you become Beetle's friend, you're good for life.
I ain't buying that.
I'm good with Beetle. She bit me one time when I first met her. Respect her. I can pet her. She can walk up to me and I can pet her, Dan.
Tim, I didn't
Can
mean
you
to
pick
say
her
your,
up?
your dog's ugly. But
Yeah.
your
Huh?
dog-
Can you pick her up?
No, I cannot pick her up. No, that's another level. You got to be around. If you're gonna pick a bite dog up, you got to be around that thing all the time.
Tim laughs when I go over there because he knows that.
I want to watch it
I have
because
a fear of
watching
dogs.
Warlike run, you have a fear of dogs.
100%. 100%.
Damn, because of the police.
No, because I was like 10 years old. I was a little dickhead. I was fishing in Red Lodge, and this dog behind me, a big old German Shepherd, barked the whole fucking time. And it was one of those picket fences, and he'd stick his nose out and bark. Stupid me went over there and smucked it on the head with the end of my fishing pole.
He got you. I'm glad he got you.
Yeah, because me too. I'm done fishing. I walked past his house and I look and there's no fence on that side. That fucker came at me. He came and leaped towards me. I bent in. He got his tooth caught in my belt loop and started yelping. It would have eaten me to this. I would have been dead.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it was a.
You would have been dead.
To me, it was like a fucking 800-pound German Shepherd. It was probably a Tim's dog,
Yeah.
but yeah, it didn't matter to me. But yeah, so I've always had a fear of dogs.
You should really ask Dan about his shark bite.
You got bit by a shark?
Pretty
Yes.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Traumatic.
It was
Very
pretty-
traumatic.
Where the fuck were you at to get bit by a shark?
Abu Dhabi.
You know where Jaws lives? It was right in that.
You went out in the ocean in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
How far?
15 feet.
Several miles.
No, seriously?
No.
How far?
15 feet.
And there was a shark 15 feet.
In my mind, yeah.
Oh, but there was no shark?
Not.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, dude, I ain't even getting in the ocean. Oh, it's a little fish.
Striped fish.
I'd be the same way though, Papa Mile. I
Dude,
don't
it hit
fuck
my
with the ocean.
It hit my ankle, and I fucking him out of the air, and he's laughing. Some
He
little,
walked on water.
The only
He walked on water.
I'll only get in that ocean if it's those like insanely, I'm sorry, those insanely clear, rich royal areas where
It
it's
was.
clear.
It was.
And,
it was. And what sucks?
and you still got scared.
What sucks is the little 4-year-old boy next to me was catching that fucker in a net with a little toy net.
I'd be filming you.
Yeah,
I'd have been filming you, Papa O'Malley.
I did. I jumped.
But
on
I
it.
get it when it comes to the dark ocean.
I
I don't
did-
fuck that.
Dan's got an excuse. We were pretty hungover. That's all I got to
I
say.
was. And I walked on water that day.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
See, I think if I was drunk, I'd probably be even more scared.
I was hungover.
I'd probably almost drown in a foot of water if I was scared from a shark. You know what I mean?
In my mind, it was a shark. He makes that shit up. It could have been a shark. Could have been an offspring of a shark.
That's
a
right.
Shark fucks a minnow,
And the 4-year-old showing it to his mom. Hey, Mom, look what I got.
I don't know if
Sitting
it's
right beside us.
and Mom was smoking too.
Oh, my
She had that
God.
caramel colored skin.
She was from, where was she from? Not Arabia. Oh, my God. Albania.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
you O'Malley's. You got your physical attributes, but you just don't have height. And I don't know if it's been. None of you guys have
Trimming
any.
the fat.
None of you guys have any height, so I don't know.
Brendan, would
I
you like
got
to talk
bit-
I was
about
gonna
that
say
before?
you're average height.
Yeah.
but you're short though compared to.
I've never
other-
been afraid of dogs, and I even remember when we were running home from school from AJ's, and his dog got me, and I still was even just like, I'm fine. I was running. It's a sheep dog, and I was running, and she fucking bit my loaf.
What the fuck does that have to do with my height?
Because I don't know if it's like something about my size. I've always been a big dude, and like I'm a dog whisperer.
Oh.
I'm a dog whisperer. And even like the most scary dogs, like when there's a scary dog, like that's like, oh no, don't talk. I want to be that dog's friend. I want to make it. My mission is to be that dog's friend.
I want you to ask your audience what's the average size of a male height.
5'2".
I'm 6
You know
foot.
what? You ain't no 6 foot, Papo. Man.
Straight up. Sean's
Stop it.
5'11", and I'm 6
Okay,
foot.
this is where Sean gets it. This is
Yeah.
where Sean gets it
Yeah.
from. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Sean, you're 5'10", Sean. Okay.
With the platform shoes on. You know,
Yeah.
Sean gave me freaking
If-
shoes that add like 5 inches.
Yeah,
Right.
dude.
All right.
They're
Papa
uncomfortable.
Mally, if
So you were 5'5".
Papa Melly, if you are 6 feet tall, I'm 6'7". I'm gonna say I'm 6'7".
How tall are you? 6'2"?
I'm 6'2".
I'm 6 foot.
Now,
That's it.
yeah.
Okay,
Tony's tall.
Driver's
Tony's a
license.
tall guy.
Driver's- Okay.
So,
Here's my driver's license.
I know you could.
How tall does that motherfucker say I
UFC
am?
could post this shit
Hey,
on
hey, you know what though?
What the
On
hell?
driver's license,
What the?
because we have a friend at the at the gym. I'm not gonna say his name, but he is like almost my height. That limits it down a little bit. But it says 5'7" on his ID, and I can tell you
Wow.
that's not true.
You're a donor.
Yeah, I'm a donor. Why not? I'm 6 foot donor, bro. I've never had anybody tell me that I'm not normal size.
I keep it real.
What's your girlfriend's
Schmidt
name?
keeps it real, baby.
All right, sure is nice out today.
It is. And it was nice having you, gentlemen. Tony,
Yes, sir.
I want more out of you, my man.
I do too.
I want some more out of Tony.
I've disappointed lots of women.
I know that one. High five. Woo!
The girl on the beach in Abu Dhabi. Did you hit her with the line, Tony? Did you say, "Is this happening or not"?
He was talking to her.
I was talking to her. Dan
He was
was.
talking to her about my shark bite.
I was. Yeah.
That shark bite was similar to you getting shot.
I don't know. It
Right?
went through his entire leg.
Good.
Yeah, come
If
on now,
something
entire
goes
leg.
through your entire leg, Pop O'Malley, I think I'd fucking
He
freak
actually
out.
left when they brought that giant syringe and put it into my leg and squirted it out the other side.
Isn't that
So
funny?
much bullshit.
I was sitting there
So
going, "This sucks." I'm bringing up pictures of this. I have pictures. I'm getting pictures now.
I like it. I wish I had a Jamie.
AI.
Hey,
These pictures are going to be AI.
I got street credentials. That's what they told me.
Where do you guys think do I get political with them?
Yeah, why
Yes.
not?
People hate when I talk about politics. Man.
We
yeah,
don't.
but how many times do you have a Gen X person to talk
I
politics?
know,
You know what
right?
I'm saying? What do you guys think about I guess I would just say Trump and Elon and all that.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
We're a red state. Montana's
yeah.
a red state.
All the way down. Red.
Problem is, of course, my law enforcement background. You can't believe one motherfucker. I don't care if it's Donald Trump, Joe Biden,
Yep.
Vance, fucking Kamala. You cannot believe anything that comes out of that motherfucker.
Power and money.
It's all about power and money. Trump doing a lot of right things. Yeah. We're going to have a shitty economy for a year. No doubt about it. Prices are going to go up with all these tariffs and everything going on. But in 3 years, I think it's going to be the best economy we've ever seen. We're going to struggle for a year, my point. So,
Yeah.
yeah. They all lie, man. What was I seeing? What Maxine Waters is worth $6.8 million fucking dollars.
How
Yeah.
did she
She's
get
been
that?
in the government forever. Yeah,
Elon's cleaning it up.
yeah. He's definitely gonna clean that shit up,
He's cleaning it up because he wants to go to Mars.
dude. That dude is wicked smart. man.
Yeah.
If there's an alien, it's him.
True.
Lately, I've been, you guys were talking a little about religion earlier, but because people find sobriety through religion a lot of the times. And lately, I don't know, like something in my life, something in my existence, it just kind of, and they say Bible sales are up more than ever.
A lot.
Sometimes I'm like, I don't know if is it me? Because is the weed doing this to me? But I'm like, are we in some kind of spiritual war or something? Because like now more than ever, I'm seeing all these conspiracy videos of things, and like they say the devil's in plain sight, and I'm seeing all these things, and they're like, and I'm like, is that just technology? Is it the technology in the world right now? Because then again, I'm like, never before in human existence am I able to watch endless reels of conspiracy theory type shit, and now it's mixing in religion and all these other things, and there's sayings, when you start mixing religions with technology and all sorts of other shit, it can get bendy. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Is there is it all real? And I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that at 32. What about someone your guys' age?
Tony's got more of a religious background than I do. He's got more of a understanding of it. So I'm not going to go down.
I've had 2 moments so far with energy, and so once I've had that, I'm like, okay, energy's real because that just happened. and you can't tell me it didn't happen because it just happened. And it was with a TV, my dad. Have you ever had anything like that, Tony?
Yeah, that's a pretty heavy one there.
Your dad was.
My dad was a traveling evangelist when I was a kid.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Years on the road, lots of churches.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Heavy stuff. Heavy conversation. It's pretty ignorant for people not to believe because of all that's put in front of our face. I mean, if you sit back and think of people are scientists, oh, the Big Bang created that. Okay, what created the Big Bang? Where did the universe come from? How did any of it come from?
Yep.
I mean, you're pretty ignorant not to try to think past that. Like,
Yep.
why? And how many things happen in your life on a daily thing that you can't explain?
A baby.
Amazing.
How do you understand there's a baby in a belly? I mean, when you become a dad, you're like, all right, dude, you're for real. He's got 10 fingers and 10 toes, and you're for real because, yeah, try to tell me that didn't happen from some religious belief. I mean, that right there is enough to sell me on, yeah, there's something going on.
A woman's body is just amazing how it can reproduce and how it acts and how it does. Don't ask me about marriage, but I'm just saying that. It's amazing. The woman's body is amazing. We're kind of idiots compared to them.
Right.
Yeah. We have our purpose.
It's so right though. And one thing that kind of always a thought that kind of always sticks out with me is you can't have nothing and then have something, right?
What?
There can't be absolutely nothing.
You know, one of the greatest moments of my life is when my oldest daughter was born, because I'd never really thought I was going to have children. And now I have two beautiful pain on my butt daughters. And when I held her for the first time, I actually knew exactly what my purpose was of life. I was wondering always before, because I was just a professional fuck off like I am now pretty much. But that was it, changed my life. And then when she was 4 years old, my other daughter was born and she's just a baby, but she jumped up beside me, just cuddled in beside me and looked up at me and goes, "Daddy, I love you." I'm looking at her going, "Okay, you want a Corvette? What do you need?"
She got one.
She did, yeah. 2 Porsches later and a Mercedes. Yeah, she's good.
I think here's my bitch on religion. I think hardcore Christians. Let me back that up.
Hardcore anything.
Fake Christians, I think, are more dangerous than atheists.
Yeah.
And I say that because I have a tough time with, okay, I'm going to fly to Arizona. Okay, I'll say a prayer for you. I'm like, do you really need to say a prayer for me? If the plane malfunctions, God's not going to go in there and fix it. I mean, we have to understand that bad shit happens to us in life, and you don't have to pray. And there's a certain person that we all know that is super overboard religious and has these weird philosophies that if I pray to God, that stuff's going to change. Or if you do something that God doesn't believe in, then you're going to hell. I think we all know who I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
Rather than letting those guys make their own mistakes, this person will say, because you do not believe in God, you're going to hell. A good example is when I was a cop, had a little baby. Mom was a bigger mom, super tired, single mom, rolled over while breastfeeding on a waterbed, suffocated the baby.
Oh.
Me and a deputy go up there. We got to do sympathy CPR. The baby's blue. It's dead.
Oh.
But we do a little sympathy.
You say shit like that because you've been through so many things, and it just, like, there's been 2 times now you've made my heart just drop, and I'm like, God, I can't imagine dealing with that all the time.
Yeah, it was tough. So we did the CPR. Baby was dead. Volunteer fire guys get there. Me and the guy that I was with, super strict Christian, Catholic, strict. We go out, which is also going to make your stomach drop. We went out and had fucking breakfast like a half hour later. We just held a dead baby.
Oh, dude. I'd be fucked for the whole week.
Yeah. So we're having breakfast, and he says to me, and this is what kind of turned me off about really religious people. He couldn't even hardly finish his dinner or breakfast, and he said, "I wish I would have baptized that little baby." Oh, fuck. And I'm like, "Why is that?" He said, "Well, because then the baby goes into purgatory." And I'm like, "What? Baby's 3 months old. Mom's had the baby for 3 months. Can't go baptize the baby. Baby doesn't have any choice." And he said, "Yeah, absolutely, 100%. The baby lives in purgatory the rest of his life." And I'm like, "Hey, I ain't buying it from the same God you're buying that from. I ain't buying that." If he's that kind, giving and caring, he's going to realize baby didn't have a chance to go. Mom would have maybe, but didn't have a chance. I'm not going to put a little baby in purgatory. And he's still to this day 100%.
Oh
that baby's in purgatory. And I'm like, I don't want to preach to that guy.
I got family like that.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Hardcore Catholics.
Yep.
And the thing to me too, I just visited Rome with our roommate Brock, and I was conflicted the whole time going to like the Vatican Museum and other churches too. Every church there has a gift shop in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And to me, it's like, that's
Cha-ching,
sick. That is
cha-ching,
sick.
A part of me
And there's
thinks-
homeless people right outside.
exactly.
And it's the year of Jubilee where there's a pilgrimage every 25 years where all the Catholics are supposed to travel to Rome.
Right.
And it's really just like you said, ka-ching, ka-ching. It's like, instead of giving the money to these gift shops, why not give the €5 to the fucking guy that's dying on the street?
I seen it
100%.
firsthand as a kid. It was crazy. I just had my religious beliefs questioned the other day from a woman that I thought was the most amazing woman of my life. I've been friends with her for 23 years. And I had to split it off with her because of a few things. And religion is one of them. Because to me, religion is for every person. It's how you interpret it, how you apply it into your life, and how you live your life.
Yeah.
Me personally, I try to live my life by example. So my daughters will know what to expect out of a man, how they should be treated by a man. And this is some of our family values. It's gone. And religion is a hardcore basis to just growing to be a good person.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with
Morals.
believing in like humanity, believing in doing good for people. People always nowadays, they're like, I'm doing this for you. What are you going to do for me?
Yeah.
How about nothing?
that.
How about just a smiling?
Yeah.
You know what? Be my friend.
Yep.
And that fake religion, man. You go to
Facts.
any major Catholic church, you're going to see 3 or 4 CEOs in there that are doing coke on the backside, banging some old lady or stealing money. They're going to go to church and they're going to be in their best suit and their kids are going to be all dressed up. That motherfucker doesn't believe in God at all.
Well, we
He's
know
doing
how-
it to advance himself.
We know how we feel about CEOs here in America lately. So.
Bam.
I'm telling you, I watch so much money change hands, and people hide things through the church. And they use religion to hide who they truly are, so people just imagine them to be this great person, and they're just like me and you.
Yeah.
But they're hiding. So to me, they're more corrupt. They're just such a dishonest person. Why would anybody want to listen to that? If you truly know someone, that's great. But to listen to a fake person try to teach you how to go through life,
Yep.
What's wrong with these people? Live life like you want to live it, but just be good and happy and honest with everybody.
Here's a deep question because of my law enforcement background. I've arrested a guy and his wife for incest on their 13-year-old daughter. All of them
Oh, dear God.
having sex with the little girl that has in
Their
a
own
wheelchair.
kid?
Yeah, in a wheelchair. They got to take her diaper off to have sex with her. And the mom, dad, brother, uncle, and grandpa were all doing it.
What the fuck?
That guy's in prison, obviously. Can he be seen by somebody in the religious background? Can he ask for forgiveness and go to heaven? Because you talk to those top.
Well, you know what
religious-
I'm questioning right now? There's got to be some sort of extreme mental illness. You cannot be a normal human being and do that. I do not believe that.
No, well, he got buggered too, I'm sure, as a kid. I think, it falls down the tree. But can a murderer go to prison right before death row, ask for forgiveness, be forgiven by a priest, and share the same heaven as we do?
This is where I wonder too. I
Well-
want you. My bad. You know how I wondered about that? So okay, we're in heaven, and Hitler is in fire.
Right.
Right? Hitler's in fire,
Right,
and we can see that. All the people he's killed can see that.
right,
Now let's do it for an eternity.
right,
We can't even comprehend how long. Let's do it for 100 years.
right.
Let's watch Hitler burn every day for 100 years. At what point do we go enough?
Yeah.
Because eventually,
You
I
paid your
think
price.
as a human, you're going to feel that.
Right.
So that's where I wonder. I go, where does it? Because what was Hitler thinking as a human? Because they say that most people who were evil were thinking they were doing the right,
Right.
just in his own sick fucking way. And again, meth. So where was Hitler mentality? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you.
Because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, there's no way. Me and Brendan, there's no way we could do what you just said.
Right.
You couldn't do what that just said.
Right.
So it's like, okay, God, this guy's obviously fucked.
Right.
You know what I mean? Can you make him unfucked and we see what that's like?
Exactly.
And if he's still evil, well then okay. And then we're gone.
Right.
It's weird.
We use people like that to judge the difference between right and wrong.
Right.
I believe when we're born, we know the difference between right and wrong.
Fact.
We just choose to push our boundaries and to see the results to it.
Right? Or maybe
As a Christian, I feel like you have to have that belief that every single soul is redeemable if they're willing to, you just like,
Yeah.
It's what we're taught.
but and even look at Jesus's life. Like he didn't hang out, he didn't associate with like the best people in society.
Right.
And like almost like yourself, Dan, with like the people you've like changed their lives. That's like what Jesus did for real.
This guy has touched so many people's lives, literally, and not claiming to be anything besides himself. I have a job to do. Now let's take my job and actually help people instead of hurt people. That's how you turn people around. Show them honesty, decency. You believe in them. Teach them how to like think, stuff like that. The process.
Because I don't think Jesus would ever give up, but at the same time, I mean, that person has to be willing to change.
So what about this
yeah.
guy?
Right.
Like I said earlier, I've been watching this death row people. This guy was a serial killer, killed a whole bunch of girls. He's bragging. He's going, oh, yeah, I killed way more than I even told him. And they're going, oh, well, so do you have any remorse towards all this? He's like, no, not at all. He's like, I hate people. He's like, I've never liked people. And he's like, if I hadn't got caught, I'd have killed more.
Yeah. Let me on. And I'll do some more.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, what the fuck is that?
Right.
But now here's a good one for Dan.
Yeah.
So let's just say someone came up and killed one of your kids and going after the rest of your family. Your brain would switch off immediately. Like, I'm speaking as a father. If someone hurt my kid, my brain would snitch off, and there is absolutely nothing I would not do.
They're gonna die.
They're done. They're done.
Yeah.
Absolutely done.
Facts.
You rape my daughter, you hurt my daughter, you kill my daughters, anything. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's built into us as parents. Is we're protectors of our family.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even just our kids, but like Dan's kids mean everything to him. And Dan would give his life for any one of them at any given time.
Yep.
But that question there to Dan, what would you do?
Yeah.
But see, that's
definitely
not
smoke somebody.
Yeah, and I don't think I think so. And then okay, but you're a perfectly minded person. The brain is so crazy. Like I've been watching Alex Honnold a lot, and he's the guy who did the Free Solo. He doesn't have that part in his brain that switches on to fear.
Right.
So the people who don't have that in their brain to switch to empathy, that have no empathy, you can't feel any passion towards anything.
Right.
Again, it's like our brains are so crazy.
Yeah.
And it's a little ball of mash in our heads that we still don't even really know fucking what it is.
You know, it's crazy too, because people can make themselves sick just by thinking.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
My sister, that was one of the things, Tony. So I had a high school girlfriend, high school love story, 5 years dated, broke up. It was probably like a year and a half because I was so depressed, right? I was affecting the people I love. My sister goes, you're actually changing your chemicals in your brain just by, and I go, oh, fuck. And that kind of scared me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's so true. You really can.
But on the same hand, when it goes back to religion, you judge people for being overly religious, and they judge you for not being religious enough. When people just need to live their life,
Right.
Yeah.
live the life that fits them. As long as you got a good heart, good intentions, life's going to be awesome.
Right?
I
Both
feel
of my
like
daughters are successful because of that upbringing.
True. And the question you gave to Dan,
Ooh, I got
it's
a
like,
question.
I think it'd be easy to take the person out. You'd be like, hey, God forgives. I might not.
Yeah. No.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
I got a question.
Maybe
for you.
you might get redemption from him up here.
Yeah,
But,
I got a question
but we're
for you.
only human down
we're
here.
human.
Yep.
That's right.
So, got a question.
Schmitty woke up.
I got a question.
Hi, Schmitty.
So you have daughters. You have daughters, right?
Yes.
Now, did they play volleyball?
Yes, they did.
Oh, I played volleyball. Listen to this one. So Trump's trying to ban transgenders from being able to play in women's sports, and then California's like, fuck you, no, we're not. Story of a volleyball girl player. A transgender male playing volleyball smacked that volleyball so damn hard into the girl's face, created brain damage, and it can never be the same ever again.
Wow.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I got a story for you then. My youngest daughter, she actually coaches volleyball now. She's
Fire.
for junior high volleyball
Fire.
coach.
Let's go.
20 years old.
Uh-huh.
She was at a tournament close by her town, and she was playing. She's always a hitter. Both my daughters are 5'11". They're both like 160 pound, and they're ripped. When they punch you,
You
watch
feel
out.
it.
Yeah,
So they can
you know.
get above that ball.
Well, she took this ball and she spiked that ball right down because there was a hitter. Hit this girl right in the face, knocked her out. Boom! Before she hit the ground. Done.
Oh, yeah.
And all of her teammates are going, yeah. And
Oh,
my
yeah.
daughter
It's
went
called
over
pancaking.
there
Or no,
and asked the girl if it was okay, helped her get up, and all that stuff. If she didn't, she was going to get lashed for me. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's compassion.
Yeah,
but that stuff
100%.
happens because that player wasn't paying attention. But that male, hell no, he shouldn't be playing girls' sports.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think what you're going to see with girls in high school now that are wrestling, 5 years ago they had to wrestle dudes, but it's becoming so so popular now, the girls are wrestling girls.
Yeah.
I think you'll see a transgender league in 5 years. If you want to be transgender, then you're going to have to compete against other transgenders. You can't go compete against the opposite sex.
See, I agree with that. I say if there's
But
going to
where
be a
does that-
transgender league, because see, here's the thing: like, people can hate me, whatever you want. I don't care about transgenders because I'm like you guys. Just don't affect my life.
Right.
I'm not judging. Like, you're doing you, as long as you're not raping anybody, hurting
right.
anybody, and
Yep.
doing anything. Like, you go do you. And if it makes you happier as a human being, that's your journey.
But where does it stop? Though?
Where does it stop?
Where does it stop? We're gonna have transistor bathrums now.
Transistor
Bro.
or transgender?
Transgender.
Transistor. Yeah, man. Someone needs to plug in.
It's really.
Where's
it's
that robot?
Crazy.
Yeah,
It's
it's my arguments like
crazy.
they're all about like, oh well, I want to be able to experience the highest level of competition. It's like, well, then you would compete against men. You know, the NBA, the NFL. It's not like there's a ban against women being able to join those.
Yeah.
They just haven't been able to,
Right.
because
Achieve
of
that.
tryouts and things.
Right.
It's like if you were a transgender. Yeah, see, that's why I'm making that
Why
argument.
can't you be proud to be a man, proud to be a woman, or just proud to be anything? Just be proud of it
Right.
and live your life.
Well, we talk about mental fucked up. I mean, if there's, you know, you were talking about he doesn't have that fear in his brain and stuff. I wouldn't disagree that if there's a male that wants to be a female, that they really feel that way.
Yeah.
There's some that want the attention and they
Yeah.
dress up all fucked off.
Yep.
The suicide rates with those guys are insane because they know they're fucked in the head.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to be that real person. So, you know, you have to have a lot of sympathy for somebody that wants to be transgender, but just keep it to yourself. You know,
Right.
don't try to compete with other sports. But their mind's fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, not in a bad way. They're not, but
They're going through it.
they're going through it. We have to
Yeah.
be sympathetic to them. But as far as competing in sports or going in the same bathroom as my daughter, ain't gonna happen.
Nope.
No.
Because that's what scares me. Because like we're still learning about shit with mushrooms, and apparently they're super helpful with the brains. Shitty to hear that you can mix fentanyl with it.
I don't
hate-
know if it was fentanyl. Whatever they were doing, they had seizures right away. So.
Yeah, that's freaky. Because there's studies. There's just so many different types of mushrooms. It's insane. Mushrooms and do you know the big mushroom over in like Europe that all communicate? It's kind of like The Last of Us. That's why it's kind of like there's a mushroom that's grown in different places, and it's just so big. It does the same shit at the same time because it's like communicating. Same thing with like coral. You know, corals spawn all at the same time, and you know eels. I learned that. Do you know about eels? I'm teaching you some shit.
No,
boys.
I'm glad.
How
It's
long
crazy.
you been on this planet? How long you been on this planet?
6 years.
Exactly.
Right.
Eels. Ready for
I thought it
this?
was 45. Now it's
And-
60.
They don't really know where the fuck eels came from. The big theory is that a meteorite hit because they all go to the Bermuda.
Triangle.
Bermuda.
Bermuda Triangle.
Bermuda.
Gotcha.
Bermuda. Fuck, Schmidt. Bermuda Triangle. They all go there to spawn, right? And then now they're trying to track them. They'll put trackers on eels,
Right.
but they die out when they get into the middle of the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And they believe that's where they all go to spawn. Some will travel 300 miles just to get to it. Shit like that blows my mind. I love it.
I was just talking to a buddy that was in New Mexico, and Tony's been there too. It's the oldest church ever in the United States, I think.
Wow.
No,
What's
it's
it
not
called?
the oldest.
Where's it?
It's not the oldest, but it's quite a unique church.
Uh-huh.
They were designing it. They wanted a staircase in there. The way it was designed, they needed a staircase in there. A guy came in and he said, I will do the staircase for you, but the doors will be shut and nobody will be in there.
Mhm.
So, I don't know, 6 months later, he bounces, he's gone, and they look at that staircase, not one nail, not nothing in it, and it's a spiral staircase.
Uh-huh.
There's not one nail, there's not anything in there. They cannot, to this day, track back where that wood came from.
No center pole to support the spiral circuit.
Right.
Nothing. It's an amazing site.
You ready for this new conspiracy theory I learned?
Right.
So there's a rock, right? I forget what it's called, Jomans. You can look it up, but there's a straight line down the middle of it, right? And then there's hieroglyphics of these Egyptians using this type of beam light, right? The theory is that Egyptians had laser technology because you can carve with a laser, engrave shit on stones. And if they had this kind of technology, it would explain why all these hieroglyphics are everywhere. And so fucking perfect.
You'd have to explain how they got rid of that technology, though.
We
'Cause then how
didn't.
did the Romans
We
come
didn't even what's his name the conspiracy's deep with this one, bro, and I'm butchering it because it goes to all the way to what's his name who conducted electricity. He was real crazy. What's his name?
in? Nikola Tesla?
Tesla.
He didn't invent electricity.
No,
well,
he didn't invent electricity. That's correct.
My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. I butchered that. But he used this thing that he was using, and that same thing is on Egyptian shit that they were using to use this light.
So
I butchered it, but look it up, Joe.
look at all the rocks they found now with metal hammers in the rock.
Right.
How did that get there?
Yeah.
And this is millions of years old, and there's a hammer like we use today in the middle of that rock. And there's more than one of them.
Yeah.
It's been found.
That's crazy. You want a little scientific stuff? If you did not have a nasal passage, then when you breathed in cold air, it would freeze your eyeballs. Truth. Look it up, bitch.
Now, see, I like that. You taught me
Because
something.
it warms you up.
Yeah.
The nasal's designed to warm you up, warm the air going in. You'd have eyeball froze.
Really?
Yeah. Look it up. Get back to these guys. Truth. Dr. O'Malley, you heard it first. You heard it first from Dr. O'Malley.
This
Hey,
is
there's gonna be
amazing.
a Dr. O'Malley soon enough.
Oh, I know. 2 of them.
Right?
Oh, that's yeah, right.
The Daniel's going to be a doctor. And Michelle.
You got to be one of the most proud parents in the world.
I am the luckiest dude
God.
in the world. Luckiest dude in the world.
What did you
Yep.
eat while you were producing all these people?
Wait,
Let
wait,
us
wait.
know.
You're giving him credit there.
I
buddy.
know.
We're
I
not
need-
sure about this stuff
I
yet.
need
You
to
might want to ask
fucking
Michelle.
know, dude.
Yeah.
They got Michelle.
What were you and Michelle eating?
Just
Wasn't
good-
McDonald's, I'll
good-
tell you
good
that.
Montana meat.
Fuck.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty lucky. I'm very, very lucky. And they're all 4 just such phenomenal kids.
They're good people.
Michelle's got 7 years of school and she'll be a veterinarian.
You guys need a reality show. The O'Malleys.
Yeah. That Bro O'Malley show that Sean and Daniel did, that was kicking ass.
They
That
miss
was
it.
fun.
Yeah, the people miss it. I miss
that
it.
was fun. I miss Daniel. He's such a cool dude.
I miss Michelle and Daniel. They always brought good vibes, but they're doing their thing.
I think Daniel will be down here. I was talking to Sean yesterday on a bike ride, and he said, "Did you hear Gio's moving down here with Harper?" And then because of that, Daniel and Alana will probably move back down here in a year.
Well, there we go.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
It's nice to get an Allegiant flight where you can see almost all your kids instead of Dallas. But yeah, they're getting married here in August. It's gonna be super cool.
Holy
Daniel and
shit,
Alana.
that's coming up
Damn.
quick.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It felt like it was yesterday he was proposing.
Can you get 2 more ethical people in this entire fucking world than Daniel and Alana? You can't find them. There isn't.
Well, Daniel, what's so cool, both of them, is they're so down to earth, chill, not judgmental, peaceful, calm. They're just happy. They're
Yeah.
just good people.
And ethical.
Yeah.
Because they didn't learn that from their dad.
Same with Michelle and Sam too. You got to get those 2 to get back down here.
I know.
What
I
a
know.
weird world, because we're from St. Louis, and
Yeah.
for the fact that they moved, he was from Kansas City, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and now they're out there. It's crazy.
There's a hockey kid that I take care of in Helena.
Uh-huh.
When you move to a different county and you're playing hockey or a different state, you have a billet. Where those are the parents that take care of you. And I take him to lunch all the time because he's from Kansas City. Super nice kid, black kid, goalie. We really got to be really close friends. He called me probably 6 months ago and he's like, "Hey, one of the guys I train with in Missouri, because he was out of football, he said just got into the UFC." I'm like, "No shit." Later that day, Michelle called me. She's like, "Hey, one of the instructors where me and Sam train at just got in the UFC." They go to the same fucking club.
That's
Michelle and Malik. Crazy. They don't know each other, but they're in the same club together in UFC club or MMA. club.
Life is weird.
It's a small world.
We just bumped into Marab at the. Did you see that?
I did. That's hilarious.
What were your thoughts of us bumping into Marab?
I've never had a distaste for Marab like I did those other 2 fucks you had up there. But Marab is the funniest dude ever. And you got to have that
Yeah.
thing going back and forth. But he's super funny, man. The guy's, and I think he's well liked.
Everyone's been. Oh my god, this week's been hell at the gym. I've had to tell the fucking story. I love all you guys, but they've all been giving me shit. Oh, you're best friends with Marab now, and I'm like, what the fuck was I supposed to do?
Right. Yeah.
What the fuck was that? And I'm like, why do I hate this guy? Because he took Sean's belt. I'm
Right.
like, but he didn't hurt Sean.
Right.
Now, maybe if he had hurt Sean, I'd feel a distaste and probably not want to be around him.
Right.
But like you said, I feel like Sean created a monster with Marab sometimes because his social media is funny as hell.
Yeah.
But it makes, and his performance against Umar was super impressive,
Yeah,
which
was
just
good.
makes it all, like, that's the beauty about UFC.
Yep.
And I thought at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, I just think there was a reason we were supposed to meet him. There's a reason all this happens.
Right.
It's a build up. There could be respect. I think we were just showing the world. It's like, okay, he beat us, he got us, but we respect you, and it's going to be go time again.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like after UFC, it'd be interesting to get all the fighters together. After UFC, to some island, just hang out and party. They'd probably all get along good. They're all
yeah.
mentally just weird as hell because they want to beat the shit out of everybody.
Yep.
But I bet they'd all get along.
Yeah, they're it's being competitive. It's that alpha. Oh, I'm the better alpha. Oh no, I'm the better alpha.
Right. Right.
When you're 6'5", you don't really care about that kind of stuff.
I'm a tiny 6'1" or 6 foot.
Hey, everybody wants you to train again. You know?
Yeah. Oh, I know. Everybody. I know. Yeah.
Okay, I got to pee. Does that matter? Are we about done? or
Well,
what's
yeah.
up?
We'll call it. We'll call it.
We're on our contract. Tony, what are you getting? $500 an hour?
Shit. If you
I'm
guys
paying him that. What do you mean?
fuck. Phillips Law, if you want to sponsor the Brendan Schmitty Show, we're right here. The way those motherfuckers throw out money. Hello.
I already got the merch.
Yep. Same. I'll wear that hat every fucking day, Phillips Law. Put it on Schmidt. Thank you guys for taking the time. I know you're super busy. We're going to definitely do the barbecue before you guys head out. We have to.
Well, let's do it.
Sunday.
I'll beat you guys in poker, too.
Yep.
Oh,
I don't know
like
about
it.
that.
I like it. You're absolute legend,
Tony,
so
you
I'm
good
gonna
at
take your
poker?
money.
All right, take my money.
You never know. I might show up. But, I mean, today I got to go fix some shit.
Okay.
We. See, he's got an eye in his
No,
pocket. It's fucking
it's-
we. I'll do all the hard work,
Yeah,
and he'll
well-
take the glory like he always does.
It works
as,
for me.
As
Why change
always,
it?
thank you for you, Jobins. I can't tell you how much he saved our lives here, helping us with the sprinkler system, helping us with other things, just to make our lives better and easier here at the Jobin House. So we appreciate you.
Schmitty, you're my friend.
Yeah, always. Always. But that's why when you're living out on that boat, me and Brendan are come fishing with you, blood.
I hope so.
Let's make it happen.
That's right.
Love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Right on.